But we got to do the other thing. So the thing that I was originally going to do is some drama. So we're pretty much done with the Saba part. Again, if you want to go continue watching it, I have the link in the chat. You guys can go watch it, have fun with it. But the other drama we have to tackle, because if you look at the thumbnail, I have 3 other VTubers in my thumbnail. That is Rima Everstar, Mama Oko, and Michi. So I'm gonna give you guys the prelude to this drama real quick, okay? Because we need this. So this drama has been building up for a while and apparently has been going very far behind the scenes. Not everybody has noticed it. I've only seen like bits and pieces, and I didn't know just how bad the drama was until basically this week when I saw Rima's video on this. For those of you who are unaware of who Rima Everstar is a VTuber who does really good video essays and deep dives into like VTuber dramas or some stories or corpos and all sorts of stuff. She's done videos on most of Hololive members and like I've talked about their rises and like what makes them popular. Rima does really good work and I'm a good fan of Rima. For those of you who don't know who Mama Oko or Michi are, they're from the Under the Tea podcast. They're VTuber drama channels and they talk a lot about VTuber drama and deep dives into VTuber drama. Simple enough. I will also point out, for sake of transparency, I like Mama Oko's videos because sometimes Mama Oko sees stuff that I don't see on some of these topics. I'm not a huge fan of Michi. I think Michi is an entitled brat. I think Michi has this belief structure that if you disagree with him, you're immediately wrong and he's always right. And I think he can be a massive jackass. So, just to get that all out of the way. But back to like, those are our players in this game. There's also Strob, and for anybody that doesn't know who Strob is the wife to, I just had his name. I just literally had his name. Rev Says Desu. So they're also minor players in all of this. But this drama actually started during the Cinder drama. For those of you who don't remember the Cinder drama, Cinder was a massive indie VTuber that was caught backstabbing all of her friends. Wasn't Luby on that podcast? I think she's still on that podcast. I haven't watched Under the Tea in the while because I don't like Michi. So I don't know, and I do believe Mama Oko still considers Lumi a good friend. And I know Lumi, everybody loves Lumi. I have no problem with Lumi. I have no issues there. Mama Oko right now, though, and Michi, they're playing gay ops, and they need to get called out. But all this drama really started back during the Cinder stuff, where anybody with a fucking brain would firmly understand that Cinder was a cunt and was tearing people down, was backstabbing, doing all that. That's what the normal brain thought process was. The non-normal brain thought process thought it was a massive conspiracy put on by Mythic to tear down Cinder for God knows what reason and to destroy Cinder, and it was all a ploy to make new people at the top be from Mythic. And they also believed it, like they thought it was a massive conspiracy to tear down Cinder. Like none of these people were ever friends. None of the girly pops were ever really friends. And it was all a conspiracy just to tear down Cinder because people were tired of her being at the top and she was growing too big too fast for all the people involved. That's why people went after her and tried to tear her down. The two camps, the normal brain camp and then the conspiracy camp. Rima kind of lands in the normal brain camp. She looked through all the evidence and she looked through it all and said, hey, this is what it is. The conspiracy camp is Mama Oko and Michi. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. It's the conspiracy camp. They firmly believe that Mythic organized a massive campaign to tear down Cinder, and that it was all a bunch of people just trying to destroy Cinder. Weasel, it's insane. Now, their justification for this belief structure is because Silverveil, who was involved in the Cinder drama, Bao and Shy Lily all belong to Mythic Talent Agency, along with Tectone, in Asmongold. This all becomes relevant later. That's their evidence. Why they wanted to do that, I still don't know. Their other evidence is apparently tweets that went out there that ultimately said that they were never really friends. I've never seen these tweets. They say they exist. I have never once looked at them or seen anywhere where they're at, but they say they exist, and that's proof that it was all a conspiracy to tear them down. Ignore the fact that they all went to TwitchCon together, went to Japan together, routinely did vacations together, did special parties together, did behind-the-scenes stuff together, constantly communicated with each other together. Ignore all that. Tweets that nobody has ever seen except for the people that believe the conspiracy are the justification why this was all a massive conspiracy theory to tear down Cinder. Okay? Okay. Now, at the time of all this, Rima was considered a friend by both Mama Oko and Michi. But because Rima, I'm going to come over here, made this video right here, okay? That's what destroyed the friendship, because they viewed this video here as a puff piece where Rima was defending her friends, Bao and Shy Lily, and wasn't looking at the entire situation with a big brain and was leaving stuff out. Now, this is Mama Oko and Michi's argument. The justification for why they believe this, shitting you not, why Rima is friends with, their justification is because Rima is friends with Bao and Shy Lily. And their reasoning for believing that is because Rima participated in a concert that had both Bao and Shy Lily involved. She participated in 3 concerts that had them both involved. That is why Rima is friends with Bao and Shy Lily. But Cinder's not friends with Bao and Shy Lily because they were never actually friends. Oko is no stranger to dumb ideas. She originally left Under the Sea for Under the Tea or Under the Sea, whatever, for tarred gay op reasons. Oh yeah, this is 100% gay op reasons. Because outside of this, there are other reasons for this drama sparking off. And we'll watch Rima's video breaking this down. That's an hour-long video, so I'm sorry it is going to be long. The other reason, okay, for why this gay ops began was because in Rima's Discord server, she had a special area dedicated specifically to trying to get more info on the situation. And I could probably throw some pushback onto Rima. I think she worded this wrong. That is me looking at this as objective as humanly possible. Fully knowing I like Rima, I think she worded some of her choices in that thing wrong, because she was trying to get this whole area in Discord so she could get as much information on this as possible, because you're always going to miss something. She specifically said, hey, don't link small channels that might already have said stuff that I have said, or are just repeating everything all over again. You know, like, because everybody was saying the same thing when it came to Cinder outside of Michi and Oko. Everybody was saying practically the same thing. And she was saying, if there's anything new, okay, please let me know. If it's from a small channel and they're saying the same thing I've already said or we've already seen, don't link them. Because of that, Michi thought she was attacking small channels and was becoming too big for her britches and didn't want to deal with small people anymore. That led to a justification of them trying to tear her down. There's other parts of this where, to be honest, I again agree with Rima that what Michi did would account for essentially banning from anybody's channel. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to let Rima talk on this. Simultaneously, I also have to disclose, I do have legitimate sources here. I have reached out and talked to legitimate sources. Mama Oko and Rima are retarded. We're going to watch Rima's video. We're going to watch Oko's video as well. And all I'm going to say real quick about Oko's video, you can kind of see it here. I'll see if I can zoom out and make it easier for you guys to see. I don't think I can, so here, I'm going to do. Give me a second. When it comes to Oko's video, I might get in trouble with YouTube because Oko unlisted it. And if I come over here to overview, so if I go default view and I have my overview, utilizing this system, I can see some interesting things. I can look, I think maybe it's views, maybe it's here. There's an area for me to actually look at how many times she, he, they, whatever, have changed the title of the video. Because I know this video title has been changed on multiple occasions. I'm trying to see, where can I get that? I don't think I can find it. Let's see, can I get it here? She lied to you. The original video was literally called She Has Lied to You, or She Lied to You, or Rima Everstar lied to you. Now it says, read description, Rima Everstar has lied to you. It's pretty bad. Okay, we'll get into this video. This is one of the worst fucking videos I've seen ever. And it's just atrocious. But here, we're gonna start off with Rima's video. Okay? I'm gonna make sure that we're at the very beginning. This is an 1 hour and 6 minute video, and we're just gonna let Rima explain her side, okay? Because I've already laid it out as best as possible. There's other pieces and parts I have left out. Rima will get into. There's tons of actual gay ops. And listen, when it goes to Mama Oko unlisting that video, I think she unlisted it because everybody was seeing that this is 100% gay ops and Mama Oko made a fucking awful video. I've also downloaded said video, so she can't get away from it. Or he can't get away from it, or whatever can't get away from it. But here, I'm also going to do this because, again, I have it positioned in a weird way. I'm going to make my screen look better so you can see everybody a whole lot better. Okay? But here is Rima retelling everything.
I've long debated on whether or not I should say something about this. I've stayed quiet for a long time, not because I had nothing to say, but because I believe that not every disagreement needs to become a public spectacle. I never wanted to add fuel to the fire, but silence has a cost, and I now realize that my silence has enabled a one-sided, dishonest narrative to fester. I debated whether or not to speak up, knowing that certain people thrive off getting a reaction.
I'm pausing real quick. I know I need to go through this. This is a long thing, but I am trying to do this transformatively. That is a big problem, though, with Mama Oko and Michi, is it doesn't matter what the hell you say or do to them. If you call them out, if you clap back, they're going to make video on it. They'll make content out of it. And it's kind of hypocritical for either of them to do that, because if you go back through Mama Oko's videos and watch during the Kirsch Dev discussion, Michi called out Dev because Dev believes everything is content and will turn everything into content, making himself look like the victim or the good guy. Michi's been doing that routinely now. During the Cinder shit, Tectone got involved. Michi antagonized Tectone, Tectone clapped back, and then Michi played the victim, and they both Michi and Mama Oko called Tectone a crybaby after Michi antagonized him. If anybody's the bully here, it's Michi and Oko. If anybody's the gay op professionals here, it's Michi and Oko. But those are the people that nobody wants to make these videos on them, because they do turn everything into content and make themselves professional victims. They're gay and pathetic.
Hoping I'd say something they can twist or weaponize. However, I can no longer ignore the fact that this has escalated beyond just me and has crossed several lines. These individuals are now attacking and spreading lies about a close friend of mine, and that crosses a line I won't tolerate. If defending myself wasn't enough reason to speak, defending them is. And for those who aren't aware, this is about Mizu Tamari. He has tried to escalate the situation at every turn, even though I've remained completely silent. You can check my past broadcasts, you can check my Twitter for proof. And now he's crossed the line. I never thought anyone would even consider. What he's done is truly disturbing, and I hope that you can stick around till the end of the video to find out why. My goal now is to set the record straight on the lies he has told the public until now.
I was going to sit down and take time to crop out the name of the initiating party of this, or the sort of initiating party of this.
The initiating party Mizu is referring to here is me. And Mizu's biggest lie throughout all of this is grossly misrepresenting the timeline of event of what truly happened. So Mizu claimed I was the initiating party. Let's start from the beginning. This all started with me putting up the waiting room for my Cinder video. And I want to underline that before my Cinder video even premiered, members of Mizu's Discord had already started attacking it, despite not having even seen it yet. They were
Interesting how that goes down, huh? And I am pausing it again because I don't want to take from Rima. I really do like Rima's content. But why are you striking already attacking something that you don't know what's in it? Why are you going after this? Why is your community doing that to her? I thought you guys were all friends. I thought you guys were all trying to get along and agreeing to disagree. Because I'll go to Mama Oko's. They're not good people.
Crashing the video, they were leaving negative comments, they were screenshotting them and sharing them in the server to mock it. It wasn't constructive criticism, it was targeted hostility, coordinated before the content had even aired. These same users then went on Twitter to speculate about my Mythic contract, saying that I have a conflict of interest because I'm with Mythic, and just like Shy Lily, even though Mythic is only a sponsor agency and has no control over my content whatsoever. As proof of that, I've also made a video about Bunny Ayu, who is also represented by Mythic Talent, and that was after I joined Mythic Agency.
He never had like a thing, but Strob is extremely mad that I criticized Rima once.
Throughout all of this, Mizu has repeated the narrative that this has all started because he criticized me on my Cinder video once. So now let me show you how this is a lie. On the day of the premiere, the toxic environment that had built in Mizu's Discord spilled directly in my life.
Let's read this real quick, because I know Rima doesn't really read these. She just uses them for just to show what he was saying. But Rima, no, you can't have watched that stream and came away thinking Lily was good. She literally admitted every mean thing Cinder said about her was true. Lily said after a consistent badgering and a consistent pattern of bad behavior from Cinder, she decided to actually start distancing herself and not being a part of it. And because she then saw what Cinder was truly like behind the scenes, she dropped her. You could say that's mean girl behavior, but when Cinder is becoming narcissistic and is not wanting to help out or engage with other people and is constantly pestering you to do other stuff, I'm not going to blame somebody for not wanting to engage as much as they used to. I'm also not going to blame somebody for not saying, oh my gosh, thank you, Cinder Raid, when she said, oh my god, thank you, Pyro Pup Raid. That connects everybody. But because Cinder didn't get a special shout out, they thought Cinder was Shy Lily was attacking Cinder and disrespecting Cinder because Shy Lily didn't say, thank you, Cinder. I'm going to stop everything and start praising Cinder while I'm in the middle of a fucking game. It's wild everyone believes this uncritically when Shy Lily agreed to the overlapping date on top of Numi, even with the most charitable view. No. Because that's not what happened. You see, the way Michi has to do this is taking everything in the most bad faith way possible. He could go like, well, I'm thinking critically. No, you're taking it bad faith and you're misrepresenting what was going on. Shy Lily, Cinder was not the one to make that date. Shy Lily was the one to make that date. And Cinder wanted to do the collab with Shy Lily, even though she already agreed to do stuff with Numi. So because Shy Lily was going to do something, Cinder cut ties with the Numi thing that she could not do to go do stuff with Shy Lily, even though Shy Lily said, if you told me you had a conflict of interest, I would have rescheduled everything. Lily admits later in the stream she has no proof of anything she said, and it's all entirely third-party hearsay from an unknown person. She said, what we have is a bunch of evidence to support that she is not a good person. We have examples, we have people saying this is all going on, this has been happening for a long time, and we want the full thing, and if Cinder comes back, we're gonna release the hearsay we have. They had proof of these things going on as already. They put out the strongest stuff. Everything else they said was hearsay. That's not everything was hearsay. But you see, Michi saying he's thinking more critically about this. He's leaving out aspects. He's being a fucking gay ops retard. I covered the entire stream on my own channel. Lily says some downright evil stuff in that stream, and it's disappointing Rima ignored it despite numerous people telling her. Shy Lily went full best friend bear mode. She didn't care at that point. If she's saying mean things, that's because she's not liking what somebody she considered a friend to be doing and is now going cutthroat. That's what was going on there, but you don't acknowledge that because you want to be right. Because you want to be the contrarian, and when people start disagreeing with the contrarian, instead of being like, hey, you know what, maybe I am wrong here, you double, triple, quadruple down and you start becoming a jackass.
Stream, and when Mizu joined himself the chat and started arguing with viewers who were simply here to enjoy the video. His behavior was combative, disruptive, and derailed the experience of everybody that was just there to enjoy the experience. At one point, Mizu even complained that a specific clip wasn't shown, when in reality it was included in the video, and it was proof that he wasn't there to actually watch or engage. He was just there to provoke.
I have watched the whole video, and yes, it is there. It is there. Because Michi just wants to destroy.
Then went on to claim that all of this information could be found on his own channel, essentially using my livestream to self-promote his content and imply it was the superior source. That kind of behavior from anyone is inappropriate. And as a result, my moderator issued a temporary timeout. Under normal rules, it could have been a ban, but the mod team showed restraint. And they were
interesting. Would you want to believe because of the timeout of self-promotion that Rima does not like in her channel, and I don't blame anybody for not wanting to do self-promotions or self-promos because it does start trying to take away other people's views. Because of that, instead of a normal ban, and because she considered Mizu, Michi, whatever the fuck you want to call him, a friend, they timed him out. Because he got a timeout and a clapback, that's what started this.
were basically just telling him to chill out. And throughout all of this, mind you, I wasn't even in the livestream premiere because I had to leave midway to a singing lesson. But instead of reflecting on his timeout, Mizu then decided,
man, Rima, I really wish you would have talked to some of the people who approached you with critical info and context counter to the popular narrative instead of ignoring and dismissing them because you didn't feel like it or they're too small to matter. You're not adding anything or making this into a more cohesive narrative. You're just blindly repeating the info we already had from one side as we already had it. You're even ignoring parts of the Cinder callout streams that damage their narrative and just not showing them. What was damaging the narrative? When Lily was going cutthroat? Is that what you're saying? Because all your narrative thing isn't real. None of it makes sense. I didn't expect a full defense of Cinder or anything, but to so uncritically parrot what other people are saying is not good for this kind of content. This is a first draft of a commentary channel's first reporting, not a well thought out documentary covering the whole Cinder situation. No, it was. Because the Cinder, because you gotta remember, okay? You gotta remember. Mizu and Oko are conspiracy brained on all this. I'm not even lying. They are full-fledged conspiracy brained on this. They believe that Mythic is trying to tear people down and destroy people when there's no evidence to support that. And if they want to believe that, I'm not going to lie here, if they want to believe that, both Mizu and Oko are part of the same company or the same area. They have a similar talent agency. You could argue their talent agency is trying to tear down Mythic. Their argument can be thrown right back at them, but they're too retarded to understand that shit.
Decided to leave a
And yes, I am being more aggressive in all this because people that run gay ops deserve to be treated like garbage and with disrespect. You run gay ops, you're gonna get called out.
comment on my live stream saying that I was ignoring and dismissing small channels because I didn't feel like it or because they're too small to matter. And then he escalated things even further. He went on Twitter and posted this tweet where he shared a Discord screenshot taking out of context from my rat dump and framed it in a way that was misleading and damaging. It implied two things. One, that I was dismissive of smaller accounts, and two, that I was snubbing Armchair Expert, who is a friend of mine. As you can see in his tweet, he says, "Man, I like Rima, but this video is pretty terrible. Just a one-to-one retelling of anti-Cinder side with no investigation. This feels like a I know I'll get views video rather than a real thought-out documentary on this." So this part I have no problem with. It's what follows that I have. It really doesn't help after I saw she was sent videos that counter the popular narrative and dismissed them because they were from smaller channels. So the words he's quoting in this tweet are not words that I directly spoke in my screenshot that he attached. These are words that he added because he's trying to imply that I dislike smaller channels. This is what I actually say. This dump is to make my videos and live stream easier to navigate, and honestly, there's just so much I can't even use this anymore. For future threads, I'd only add videos that add something to the narrative from now on. Avoid small channels commentary, large creators commenting on it. I can use like Asmongold or Moist Critical. This topic is pretty over anyway for
Now, what I'll say is, I think this was bad. If I'm going to be critical here, I think this whole thing is bad because it does sound like she is trying to dismiss small creators. What she was doing was, hey, the smaller channels are pretty much just saying the exact same thing. Unless Asmongold comes out here and says something like epic or an epic takedown and says something very impactful, I will add that. The reason for that is, let's be fair here. If I say, man, Cinder is a freaking awful person, you know, she's super bad, this is awful for the VTuber industry, that doesn't carry weight. If Asmongold or Moist Critical come out here and say that, that carries weight because they are much larger streamers that have an overarching group of people seeing that. There's normies that watch Asmongold. If Asmongold's talking about this, that tells you how big it got. Small people talking about this, they're going to talk about this all day and night. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't carry weight to it. I can see what she's saying. I firmly believe, though, she just worded it wrong. And I have no problem with her wording things wrong. Probably think a little bit harder on how you word things, but I see where she's coming from this. But all this is you're dismissing smaller creators and what smaller creators are saying. Most of the smaller creators weren't saying what Mizu was saying. Pretty much everybody was in agreement on what was going on here. You were the only one that was a contrarian the entire time.
now. And he also repeats these same quotes in the comment he left on my video, saying, "Man, Rima, I really wish you would have talked to some of the people who approach you with critical info and context counter to the popular narrative, instead of ignoring and dismissing them because you, quote, didn't feel like it, or, quote, they're too small to matter." Again, I've never said these words. These are words he added. Now, Mizu claims that my Raddum screenshot can only be interpreted one way.
Did not want people to post from smaller channels, and that's really all she said. Like, there's no way to interpret that any other way.
What Mizu and the others are trying to do is they're trying to paint me in a way that I'm willingly and maliciously ignoring the other side of the narrative. And I don't want them in my Discord. But that's not true, because these counter-narrative videos have also been posted in my Discord. We discussed them. Mizu said in his tweet, "It really doesn't help after I saw she was sent videos that countered the popular narrative and dismissed them because they were from smaller channels. But these, for example, are 3 videos that are anti-Cinder from smaller channels, and they were also posted in the dump. It has nothing to do with smaller channels. It's not that these things can't be posted at all. I want the source material in the rat dump. You can post all the other stuff in the regular rat thread, which we have. We even have Mizu streams there." I posted this screenshot because the thread is meant to primarily bring new information to use in a potential video. When the thread fills up with every reaction to the same drama, it's impossible for me to find what I actually need. When I'm talking about large creators commenting on it, it's about like a crazy clip from Shondo saying wombs are eternal, or that clip from Neurosama that we used in the last Cinder video to create like one of these truly wow moment and segments.
I get what she's saying there. I do, and I just think you said it wrong. I think that whole thing was just out of, like, you worded it wrong. That's all I think you did wrong there. But because you worded it wrong, Michi took advantage of that to try to go after you and run gay ops. The other thing is, let's be fair, the other part of that was, I need the source. I need the source of your info. And if you're just saying, no, bad thing because bad thing, where's your source and evidence to support that? Well, I feel like that. Well, you can't use that. You can't use that as any justification in a documentary. If you have, like I said earlier, they say that there's fucking tweets out there proving that they were never friends and the girly pops was all a lie and they just did it for the sake of clout, clicks, and to get famous and popular off that. If you believe that, share those tweets. Share the tweets. Give people the evidence. You never did it. So then we can't go with it because you're just saying it. We have no evidence to support that. That's the problem there. And that's also what she said. I need the source. I need the evidence. And you didn't give it to her. So why should she even listen to you?
Team and my community have constantly tried to moderate our data threads and our video to make it easier for me to parse through them and pull content worth featuring in my video. So my viewers know this, my moderator know this, everybody's working diligently all the time to keep the threads clean. And then Mizu comes in, takes the last screenshot, posts that on social media out of context to try to pretend that I'm like ignoring the counter narrative. He just can't believe that I've seen the same information that he did and that I've come to different conclusions. And on top of that, he tries to spin it that is because I hate smaller accounts when I've collabed with tons of small accounts. All he had to do was scroll up to see that the same request had been repeated multiple times.
I can't go into too much detail. I can't. I can confirm Marima has no problem engaging with small accounts. Can't go into too much detail. Okay? But I can confirm that. I do have sources that have told me that, yes, she has no problem engaging with smaller accounts and engaging with smaller creators. So, yeah. All this is nonsense.
And on top of that, he included the screenshot of Armchair video to insinuate that I had beef with him or was snubbing him somehow, which of course I don't. If Mizu's intention was simply to showcase what I wrote, why include the Armchair video at all in the screenshot? There is nothing good faith about this implication and this tweet. Okay, so at this point, Mizu had already come into my live stream, into my video comment section, and then proceeded to throw a fit on Twitter. It was only after all that he finally reached out to me to tell me to check my mods about an hour and 30 minutes after his Twitter call out post. As you can see, the tweet went up around 1:30 p.m. and this is his first DM to me at 3 p.m. Just in case he tries to deny it, I'm putting the timestamp and the receipts here. So far, as you can see, everything that has happened has been initiated by him, unlike what he tried to claim on his live stream that I was the initiating party. So we clearly see what was the order of events. Everything that has happened has been initiated by him. Now let's see how Mizu claims it played out.
Originally, I was going to sit down and take time to crop out the name of the initiating party of this.
See? Blatant lie. And throughout all of this, I still haven't responded. After Mizu reached out to me, I told him exactly what was my issue with the tweet that he posted and what he did in my live stream premiere. So
let's read this real quick, okay? Until you directly address the points I clearly laid out in my response, instead of skirting around them and downplaying your actions as mere criticism, there can be no real discussion. Fair criticism is truthful, contextual, and intended to foster meaningful dialogue. What you did was misrepresent a screenshot about me, taking it out of context, and spin it into a narrative that you still haven't acknowledged or corrected. You insinuated that I somehow hate small accounts, despite the fact that I frequently collaborated with smaller creators, including you, mind you. Until you take accountability for that, there's nothing more to discuss. You've constantly talked past me instead of engaging honestly. You came into my DMs asking for a resolution, yet this has been a one-sided attack from the start. My mod timed you out, something that should have been minor, but instead of reflecting, you choose to go on the offensive and on social media. And even after that, I was still willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because you have been there for me before, until I found out you were still trying to farm me on Twitter just a few hours before you sent this message. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too, and after all this, I don't owe you a conversation. Even having a conversation with you runs the risk of being screenshotted out of context. I do not view any of this as being good faith. You know, we constantly moderate our Discord because we know one day someone would try screenshot it out of context to post it on Twitter, and to my surprise, the first person who did this was actually you. No, this is about you posting a screenshot from my Discord, which you've misconstrued out of context, while you know full well that I support small channels, and I wanted you to acknowledge how disruptive and disrespectful your behavior has been in my live stream and to my community.
I'm not sure why Mizu keeps repeating that this is about a tweet.
So I made a tweet a while back about Rima in saying that I did not like her Cinder video, and that I did not like in her Discord that she said that she did not want people to post from smaller channels.
Interesting. When you have all the screenshots of what was actually being said and what was actually going down, you can tell that Michi's lying.
And that's really all she said. Like, there's no way to interpret that any other way.
As you can see, he still tries to deny it. He also tried to deny it during the Strob exchange, saying,
oh, the Strob exchange is going to be interesting. I actually kind of am looking forward to talking about that one, because that one that's a really telling exchange.
that it's about just publicly giving your opinion on somebody's public video and public statements. He knows full well that it's not about this, because we even discussed it before he had this argument with Strob. But I want to point out something else that he said in those screenshots. He said, had she answered my first DM to discuss it, or not timed me out in chat, or not hidden my reply to the video, I probably wouldn't have posted my opinion on Twitter. And this message really says everything. What Mizu means by his first DM to discuss it was actually him sending me a message saying, careful with the Cinder thing, it's a huge nothing burger so far, over a month ago. What part of this message is a question or an invitation to have a discussion? And honestly, what kind of terminally online mindset is that? If you don't respond to me.
If I'm gonna be, again, charitable and also trying to at least be critical on both sides, Rima, if you do watch this ever, which I don't think you probably will, but if you do, probably don't do this and just censor out the more important stuff, like the really sensitive stuff. Have what he actually said there. That's me. Again, I'm being a little critical here because you're saying he said a certain thing. I can't see what you're saying he said. It's just a white block. So I need to be able to see what you think he said. That's important for me.
I'll make a call-out post on Twitter. That's not how things works, and it sounds like an ultimatum. Me not responding to your message shouldn't put me on a ticking time bomb for you to misconstrue screenshots from my Discord out of context on social media. Also, I was in Japan, mind you. I came back on the 29th, but careful guys, no matter where you are in the world, you must respond to Mizu. And for the record, I wasn't the one who timed out or hid his comment, but given how he's been acting since, I fully believe my moderators made the right call by doing so. And after all that, he still went on Twitter to tweet and subtweet more about me. Lol, people are trying to call me n-bitted for how I criticized Rima's Cinder video. I don't think they know what bint is like if they think I'm anywhere close.
Here, I'm going to pause this just to read this. Considering reaching out to old friends and checking up on them to make sure they're okay. Then remembering they dumped me over something stupid, so I think I'm good. I mean, you're the one running the gay ops here. I need to loop back around and do another stream on the rules of commentary and drama coverage, it seems. Who put you fucking in charge? Seriously, who put this fucking gay ass... I'm not going to keep going down that route. I almost said something very mean and very rude and very crude. Okay, I'm even going to acknowledge that one. But who put him in charge? Seriously, you don't run YouTube. You don't run my channel. You don't even know me, but you don't run me. You're not in charge of us. You're not in charge of drama or any sort of commentary coverage. If you're saying there's rules, well, Lottie fucking da, apply them to yourself. It doesn't matter what other people do. Other people, when they do, act out and act like a jackass, they get called out. The commentary spaces and the drama spaces police their own. I have seen it time and time again where people do really shitty work. They get called out. People run gay ops. They get called out. You're running gay ops and you're getting called out. And you're calling everybody else the cry bully here when you're acting like a freaking fig. Then you got the part that she read, lol. People are trying to call me n-binted for how I criticized Rima's Cinder video. I don't even know what n-binted is. I don't know, so don't even ask.
If people are calling you n-binted, it's probably got to do with you screenshotted other people's Discord out of context like he did with false Discord. So now that we know what happened, watch what he says on his stream.
I'll do this one instead. So I made a tweet a while back about Rima in saying that I did not like her Cinder video and that I did not like in her Discord that she said that she did not want people to post from smaller channels.
So here's one lie.
But Strob is extremely mad that I criticized Rima once.
And another lie.
So just so we're all clear, my friends are open to criticism. I have criticized my friends before. I will criticize my friends in the future. Publicly so. You are not immune to criticism just because you're my friend. I hold the...
Then the same opinion should be applied to you. Because you haven't been doing criticism, and all it seemed is like Rima was criticizing you for your bad actions, and you started going on a fucking temper tantrum. So maybe quit being a fucking hypocrite.
Opinion that if someone is your friend, you should be willing to openly, criticize them.
Again, stop lying about this. I told him clearly in DMs. He knows it. I DM'd it. You can see it. And this stream comes after we had these DMs.
I replied, because I am going to die on this hill. When is it valid to publicly give your opinion on someone's public video and public statements?
Oh, look, another lie.
Conversations, but it's clear that anything I say will just be twisted or misrepresented by Mizu. I've made one post on Rima up until this point. Everything else has been privately handled. At least I thought it was privately handled. Apparently not.
And another lie. All of Mizu's tweets on the matter didn't fit in a single page. So now that we've established a few things, let's go back to the timeline. Before my video...
Oh, look, it's Mama Oko. By the way, I do have to point this out. This here... Rima, I get you might be doing this for beauty purposes or something, but Legitimately, it keeps drawing my eyes to the goods. If you do watch this, please, my ADD, my attention deficit disorder, everything, it keeps drawing me because I see a little speck and I go like, just move. Just move. And I get it. It's probably a mole on purpose, but it's drawing my eyes in. But Mama Yippee Rima, it's okay. The thread is what the fuck? 2,500 replies. It's our biggest. Oh. That's a little later. That's a good one.
Video even premieres at 10:30 a.m. Oko tells me that the Cinder thread in their Discord is very active and a lot of it is talks about me. He tells me the thread is boiling up to 25,000 replies and it's their biggest thread in the server, dwarfing so many others. Later on, he messages me saying that he had to suppress some people and warns me not to read the thread. I go check it out. I see all this stuff about me and then I scroll down and I start seeing all of these unhinged stuff about other creators. And we'll take
all I'm gonna say is if you I get why somebody would say don't read a thread, don't do this, don't do that. I get why. Don't get me wrong, I get why. There's some things that Mama Oko has said though that openly it doesn't make sense. Because Mama Oko has also been saying, don't watch what Rima says. Don't engage with Rima. Don't listen to Rima. But if you tell somebody not to listen to somebody else, you're not acting honestly there. That's not how that works. You have to be able to communicate with somebody and to challenge the bad ideas. If what I thought was Rima was doing it was bad, if I thought Rima was saying bad stuff, I would still tell you, watch her videos and it'll speak for yourself. Watch what she says. Go to what she says. Because I'm confident in my own beliefs. I'm confident in what I am saying is true, and you can figure it out for yourself. When somebody tells you, don't engage, don't listen, don't do this, more than likely, they're also not wanting you to be broken out of your little echo chamber bubble.
Take a look at what's being said, but first
Hail
things
Diz,
first.
by the way, and also hail
this
Cherry.
was their
Sorry for
server
not
rules,
engaging
by
with
the
you
way.
guys.
Respect, be nice to everyone. No toxicity, be nice, and be understanding. Love. This thread has 17,085 replies in it. Mizu lies that there's a 17,085 replies in the Cinder thread.
With over 17,000 replies talking shit about people in it. I don't know what she means. I don't have a fucking clue what she means. Let me double check if I can check how many posts are in the Cinder thread, because I guarantee the Cinder thread is like one of our longest threads. So if I just search like in Cinder thread, can I check just the thread?
Yes, you
I
can.
can check drama threads, I guess. I don't think I can sort.
Okay, I don't know how they check threads. I don't. Cause I'm going to my my channel real quick. My Discord. Oh, I don't have threads. Ooh, so if I make a thread. Oh, okay. I'm now starting to figure it out. Because when I was listening to this, I didn't have the ability to actually check my own threads. But okay, yeah. I just tried to check a thread. I don't have a thread, but it was pretty easy to figure out where you have to go to check a thread. Weasel, this is me talking drama.
By thread. So for drama threads in general, we have 52.
You know what? Actually, here. Because I know Geeks and Gamers has some threads. Let's go to Geeks and Gamers. Let me turn this off, okay? Let me go to Geeks and Gamers thread and... Let me see. Maybe if I go to the snake pit, I can see threads. Do they have threads there? Let's see. Is there a way to look at it? Because I'm seeing the threads. I'm trying to see if you can acknowledge how many posts are in which thread. That's Simp Archive. Trying to see that. That would be interesting. How do you look at that? Because like I have my Discord right here, and I go to threads. there has to be a way to look at this because there's threads here and I'm trying to figure that out because if obviously Rima uses Discord more than I do, okay? And I'm a retard when it comes to Discord. Discord, okay? I'm a retard. I usually keep it on streamer mode for a reason. But if she can figure it out on somebody else's channel, it should be easy for you to figure out. And she had the evidence there.
2,000 results. Is there a way to like sort
I
it by
get that,
thread?
Weasel. I need to put people
I like
in charge
how
of my
he's
Discord, 'cause
suddenly
I'm
conveniently
absent
forgetting
follower.
how to use his own Discord server just so
I'm
he
gonna
doesn't
turn them
have
down
to
a little
admit that there's 17,085
To be fair, now I don't agree that this is the case with Mizu. I'm a retard that barely knows how to use Discord. So Mizu might also be a retard that doesn't know how to use Discord. Okay? That's me being fair there. I don't think that's true, though. I'm just going to lay that out. And Weasel, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to my Discord, I need help pimping it out and getting more people in there because I don't know how to do it. I don't. And I need more engagement over there, so I need to figure that out. I might give it to you, Weasel, to help with the engagement.
replies in that thread.
I wouldn't know how to get about it. So we have a thread spawning 17,000 replies. Out of
Yeah, that's the Cinder thread.
every single thread we've ever done, there's 52,000. So
Nope.
she is claiming one thread in there, which we have a lot of threads, is half of all messages in our Discord. With
17,000 is not half of 52K. I don't know what kind of math is that.
10 likes.
Maybe like a quarter, wouldn't it? Yeah. My brain, I was like, no, it is half. Then I started doing the math. Wait, no, that's not true. 17 times 17 would be 34. So if you have 52, yeah, no.
Like, I don't know, a week, maybe? A week, 2 weeks tops, because the Cinder thread was kind of slow at the start. No idea where she's pulling
How is that
17,000 replies
slow?
from.
That
Just so you
thing
guys know
popped
how
off.
easy it is to find out how many replies there is in a thread, let me show you. You go to your Discord, you go to your threads, and it's all listed right here.
What? It's that fucking easy? Fuck this shit.
146, 258, 1310 in black and white. And since Mizu can't seem to find a number, let me show it.
Okay, Weasel's gonna DM me an example, but I mean, she literally just showed us the example, and it's like, fuck. It's that easy? I need to do that. Jesus Christ.
17,085 replies. Even
Okay, you know what? Again, I'm sorry for pausing. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go through the video. It's easy for me to pause and then talk about this. If it's that fucking easy, I have to imagine Mizu's retarded when it comes to Discord. I don't believe that because I've heard what Mizu does, and he primarily moderates their Discord and does stuff in their Discord. So if he runs their under the T Discord, he should know how to fucking do that shit. It makes sense that I don't know. Okay, it does. It makes sense I wouldn't know because I'm a retard. And I'm bad at running my own Discord. I am the absentee father in my own Discord. I firmly understand that and acknowledge that. But Mizu is the father of their Discord. He runs their Discord. He should know that.
viewers in Mizu's live stream can see the number, so why can't Mizu? And I like how Oko is changing his tune here, saying the biggest thread we have is the Cinder thread that has over 10k messages, when he told me there was 25,000 earlier. I don't doubt we probably have a few hundred messages about Rima, but none were reported for harassment or gay ops, so none were removed. Oh, well, what
Well, I mean, you guys were running the gay ops, so yeah, none were removed.
a relief.
She's trying to make this claim that we have a thread with over 17,000 replies talking shit about people in it. I don't know what she means. I don't have a fucking clue what she means.
Mizu tries to downplay how toxic his thread is, but if his thread was not toxic, then how come the admins had to repeatedly step in to make things calm down? I feel like
I feel. Oh, she's reading.
These posts are getting kind of schizo. Guys, chillax. I don't want this thread derailing into fighting people. I was about to lock in when people were just randomly going after other creators. All I want is for this thread to remain a place of rad without attacking others. I have issue with how people were speculating that people like Armchair were somehow involved without proof. Like, I understand the anger Rima has a biased video, but I don't believe it's fair to rad.
Oh, she has a biased video. Why is it a biased fucking video? That's gonna be the fucking interesting one.
That hard. So multiple people understand and admit that the thread was toxic. They're saying it in the live stream. They're saying it in his Discord. So now let's take a look at what's actually going on in this thread. Nanoless posted this tweet almost reaching 150k subscribers, ready to celebrate after everything she's gone through. It's a big.
Remember, Nanoless was the one that started off all this with the help of Shylily. Nanoless was the first one to call out Cinder. Nanoless assisted with the beginning of all this. Mainly because she was the first one. With Nanoless, it went bow. Without Nanoless, Cinder would have never been exposed. Remember that.
Milestone, and I'm sure she was so happy. Now you might ask yourself, who could possibly hate on this? Well, there's these guys. Who sits there and type this shit on a celebration tweet? You always wonder, who are these people that sit on Twitter all day to respond like this? Well, apparently they're in Mizu's Discord. They reply to her posts, dialing their replies into the Discord server, encouraging each other to leave more negativity. Hey, look at that, my comment is still there, Lamau. This dude is already blocked by Nano, by the way. Not only do these people respond these kind of things to Nano tweets, but they're.
I wish LMFAO, I'd effing laughing my ass off. Imagine making that the most upvoted comment. And they're all in Nietzsche. Although they say pyro, it's like maybe they were pyro pups.
They're proud of it. He wishes it could be the most upvoted comment on that post. Then somebody points out it is hidden, and this dude fucking flips out. Of course it is, little bitch Lamau. She's such a cunt. And then they find out she deleted the tweet, and they're so happy. They succeeded. They celebrated. She deleted the post about hitting 150k. She sits on the throne of lies. Then Lamau, she deleted the fucking tweet. That's amazing. Ha 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 ha. She must not like being called out on her bullshit, Lamau. She deserves to be called out on her BS. She basically broke something I feel the client confidentiality and then twisted it to.
Wait. She broke client confidentiality? No. There was no client confidentiality there. There's no client confidentiality isn't a thing. There was never an NDA written. You might do that via just being nice and you don't expose what's going on there. But there was other shit going on that she had to reach out. She felt bad because they were telling her to do bad things. That's not confidential. If you don't have an NDA, you can speak on it. So yeah, that's bullshit.
Fit her warped narrative. You should have seen the comment section, man. It was amazing, Lamau. Look how gleeful they are, sending each other screenshots of people roasting her to archive it. They're practically foaming at the mouth. Do you have screenshots of it? Why? Was there a lot of roasting? And they just can't wait to take it to Twitter to laugh at her. They tweet at her, they at her in those tweets. And now, time to make fun of her English. Let me guess, it also had to do with your English skills. Also, not a good look at Nanoless. Me no good at English, me bad at English. Then they archive it so they can hold it over her head. She's really trying to play stupid? Lamau. Man, not gonna lie, that makes me want to say something. So they're inciting each other to reply. And then there's also the name calling. Do it. What's she gonna do? Block you? Oh no, being blocked by a manipulative cunt. Love, love, by the way, though. And then they'll turn around and call this criticism, mind you.
It's good criticism right there. And I'm also gonna point out, so, okay, these are all from Michi's server. I mean, like, we already established that one of those guys was from Michi's server. We knew this is all from Michi's server. Those were pyro pups. Those are diehard supporters of Cinder doing that. And they just let them go. They just let them say that and talk like that. That's atrocious.
But the conversation continues. I DM'd you what you could probably say or make it work. They're directly encouraging each other to respond. And this follows right after. This is them bragging about being blocked. I consider it an honor to be worthy of being blocked, Lamau. Just shows I got under her skin so easily. In all honesty, it is usually a bad time to criticize or do some type of brigading under a celebratory tweet. Damn, this guy almost developed some self-awareness. But, oh, never mind. She could have easily just ignored the comments, but it clearly got to her. And by deleting it and then saying, I don't know how to Twitter, that still shows she's letting them get to her, which will lead to mask-off moments like...
No. Okay, these are VTuber fans here. I get it. These are extreme VTuber fans that love their pyro queen Cinder that aren't really able to be objective here. They're essentially antis and they're V-tweeters. They're all unhinged weirdos, legitimately unhinged weirdos. Is it a sin for somebody to want to celebrate? Where's the negativity there? She deleted it because you guys brigaded her and attacked her. Not that fucking hard to figure that shit out. Now you're mad because she deleted it and it looks bad. She deleted it because she was trying to get away from you because you were harassing her, which is an actual issue in the VTuber sphere. There's a lot of people that get harassed. Some of the big creators do that, get harassed a lot by these retarded figs. But Jesus Christ, this is not okay.
This. As such, it's tough to even view them with any sympathy. God forbid he feels bad for Nano. People are already calling her out on that shit too, Lamau. The tables are turning for Nanoless. As much as I hate it because I wanted to see that little bitch slip, at least Lily wised up and shut the fuck up. Then finally, somebody normal
What did Nanoless do to stop She shut the fuck up? No, Nanoless didn't say anything bad. She just started celebrating that she's growing. Lily shut up because there was nothing else to talk about on the situation. Like, legitimately, the Cinder shit is dead right now because Cinder's gone. She hasn't come back or attempted to come back. People have said she's coming back, but there's no evidence of it. So until she comes back, she ain't coming back. Also, Cinder admitted to everything that was going on, so I don't know why anybody's saying any of this shit.
Out, I don't get it. What's the big deal that she's excited to hit a milestone? And then they respond, some people are just dumb. Yes, you're right. Some people are dumb. You guys are some people. Jesus Christ, can people actually be that dense?
I agree. What did she do to deserve any of this? Can somebody in the chat try? Like, I get it. I might just be big-brained. I might just actually have, like, common sense, but what deserved any of these actions? Anybody, and I know most of my VTuber buddies, they probably can't even figure this out, but what deserved this? Like, just think critically. What caused it?
Like, is this normal behavior, guys? Usually you see someone do a celebratory tweet, you say, yes. Oh shit, congrats, and you move on. You aren't tracking the tweet constantly and spam refreshing her page to find out if she deleted it, so you can start attacking it like a weirdo. Look, regardless of how you feel about Nanoless, this is unhinged. They also posted this tweet linking to this lovely video. Now let's take a look at said video. It's him posting a video, scrolling through all the comments to find and point out the negative ones under her celebratory tweet. That's not just any tweet, by the way. That's literally her saying thank you for 150k followers. These people need to touch grass. These guys are so dedicated. Because she deleted her tweets, he recorded a video because he wants to make sure that she can't hide away from the quote-unquote backlash. And keep in mind the dates. This is an entire month after the Cinder situation. They're going to every Nano tweet that has nothing to do with Cinder, mind you. They're constantly replying to her. They're harassing her. They're obsessed. And it's constant. This goes on day after day after day. They're digging at old clips, trying to find whatever they can. This isn't about finding the truth. This isn't about defending Cinder. And this isn't normal criticism. They just hate them. And they want to harass them.
They hate them because they're Cinder defenders. That's all it is. They are Cinder defenders, so they must destroy everybody that helped destroy Cinder. Everybody that took down Cinder is immediately bad because you took down Cinder. Ignore any of the actual stuff. Ignore what was actually going on. It must have been a fucking ploy from Mythic.
What this is. And then they set their sights on me because my video dropped. And they do the same thing to my own tweets. They post it in the server to incite people to brigade it. They get happy because I'm receiving backlash that's caused by them, mind you. And they're like, so many are roasting her. Download this. She's gonna take it down. And I don't take it down because I don't bend the knee to cancel mob. Never have and never will. They do the exact same thing to my video. At first, they were getting hyped up and patting each other on the back because people were leaving negative comments. But then they get so disappointed once they realize my video still has 560 plus likes and only 11 dislikes.
You know what? I kind of want to see this. Okay, I'm pausing it real quick because I'm gonna engage my like to dislike thing on her video. I'm kind of curious. Where is it sitting at? Because I think she does a really good video here. It's really well done. Oh, 6.9K. Only 153. Man, you guys are pretty losers. Just saying.
Aw, disappointing. The sheeple striked again. And what's really crazy is how affected they are by my video. So much so that the sheer act of watching it is making them having to take a break. Just gonna need to take a break from Rima myself. I need a break. Yes, please take a break. Honestly, a lot of us need it. Wasn't expecting this to be that terrible.
Now, I'll say this. If somebody says something really retarded, I'm not gonna blame somebody for thinking they need to take a break. Like, if it's a really retarded video, take a fucking break. Just don't watch it, walk away. Like, if it's clinically retarded and it hurts your head, like, it's hard for sometimes I'll watch a TYT video. It's hard, it hurts, but you gotta do it. You gotta sit through it. Watching Hassan content whenever I do an Ethan video, it hurts. It makes you want to slam your head into the wall because you're dealing with retards. But her video was really well done, really well researched, and the only reason I kind of stopped watching it, even though I watched it all the way through, is because I already knew all the info and it was just repeating everything that everybody has already agreed with. Mainly because what everybody agreed with was just common fucking sense, and they could see all the evidence. Like, I'm not dissing Rima here. I'm not even going after Rima for her video. It's like my two streams on the situation. It's the same fucking thing. It's not hard. That whole Cinder drama was really self-explanatory. Monkeys could figure it out. Apparently these people are dumber than monkeys. Oh wait, where's my mouse?
Complete hysteria because of a single video. These people need to touch grass. Just gonna wait for Sparky's response video/stream where he roasts the shit out of her. Indeed, let Sparky cook. I can't wait to see him roast the fuck out of it. Wow, really nice comments, guys. Now look what they're saying about me. They're putting all these labels on me, and let's not skip the juicy part. You just happen to be in the exact same company as the main instigator behind this so-called documentary.
Let's read this all here. I'm a fair journalist who just puts out facts. Oh, really? Let me critically tell you this, champ. You're not reporting so much as you're regurgitating whatever narrative your side spoon feeds you. You're not a journalist. You're a glorified hype man for a digital lynch mob. Or maybe you guys are conspiracy nut jobs that have nothing. Quite literally nothing. Where's the evidence to support this shit? I've begged people to give me the evidence that says otherwise. It doesn't exist. But you have to believe that there's evidence out there. There are literally schizophrenic freaks. That's all I could say. Let's not skip the juicy part. You just happen to be in the exact same company as the main antagonator behind this so-called documentary. That's not a coincidence. That's a collusion with Wi-Fi. No, it's not. At Dermy, cast for the new Street Fighter movie is out. It's really bad. DM it to me, Alpha. I'll look at it. Then right after the video drops, what do? Oh, just a cute little collab with one of the victims involved in the whole thing. Real subtle, real professional. Nothing screams ethical boundaries like shaking hands with your content's emotional collateral the second the views start rolling in. This isn't fair reporting. This is tone-deaf, opportunistic clownery wrapped in trench coat of moral smugness. You're not reporting on the fire. you're throwing gas on it and roasting marshmallows with the arsonists. The whole thing, you did the collab. She did a 3D concert for one of her actual friends, Neanners, who was friends with Bao. That's their evidence, is that Rima, who is friends with Nanners, who was also friends with Bao, well, not Nanners, Niana Banana. Rima, who did a concert with Niana, who's also friends with Bao, that's the collusion. There's no actual connecting tissue between Rima and Bao. Rima and Bao have not actually done any actual collaborations. Rima and Bao have not been on streams together, like actual, like one-on-one streams together. They both participated in concerts because Niana wanted them to be there. Niana wanted the help. So Niana asked her friends for help that happened to be both Rima and Bao. That's their evidence, is that they're all friends with Niana. They don't actually have evidence to show that they themselves are friends that have communicated or done anything with. You see the problem there? There's never the connecting tissue that they say that there is. There's always just, well, you were here. Well, where's the proof that they are actually friends? Doesn't exist.
That's not a coincidence. That's collusion with Wi-Fi. Again, with the Mythic accusations. But then something catches my eyes. They're talking about collabing with one of the victims. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I understand when I see this. They post my tweet about participating in the Niana's concert. What are the odds? Wow, what a coincidence. I guess that vid was the entry fee. Yeah, what are the odds, guys? It's only been 3 times in a row I've been invited to Niana's concert. Rima, I want to be part of this big group of VTubers who are also famous and popular. But how do I get in? I got it. Cinder bad. Everybody clap for me. And then
she's friends with Niana. Actually, if you go through a lot of Niana's old concerts, Rima's been there to sing. Almost every concert Niana has put on, Rima has been a part of it. Because Rima's friends with Niana. Then Niana became friends with Bao. That's the only connective tissue. By the way, I will pull up with Alpha Omega sent me just real quick. It's oh, Adam also sent me the Demon Slayer trailer. But yeah. I'm not a huge Street Fighter like player or fan of the Street Fighter genre, I will say that, but oh god. Yeah, trying to get it to open in a new tab. It's that's not great. That's really not great. Mainly this one right here. I don't have a problem with Momoa playing, fuck, I can't think of his name. But this is weird. This is weird. This is weird. Go back to this.
Then they have Mizu repeating and engaging with this nonsense. They're basically saying I'm compromised because I'm in Mythic, and that I can no longer be trusted as a source on anyone in Mythic. That Mythic controls my content, that I sold out. This isn't criticism. They want to damage my reputation.
So Tectone is also a part of Mythic, and that's where a lot of this started, was because Tectone's a part of Mythic. And here's the other problem with all this. If they believe that Mythic is controlling the content, is controlling what everybody says and doing all that, I just want to point out, this out. Kirsch is a part of Mythic. Does that mean Kirsch is now compromised? Like, seriously, Kirsch is a part of Mythic. Billion is a part of Mythic. These massive creators are a part of Mythic. Are they all compromised? Because Kirsch had the same opinion as Rima. Is Kirsch compromised? Yes or no? Because I know Mizu and Oko like Kirsch. If Kirsch has the same position as Rima? Are they all compromised? Because if so, you need to get your head checked. Why aren't you going after Kirsch? Seriously, why didn't you go after Kirsch like this? Kirsch has the exact same thought process. Why didn't you go after Kirsch? Yeah, people have a hate boner for Tectone. I get that one. He's not the like, I can see why people like Tectone, and I can see why people hate him. I'm more of an Asmongold guy personally myself. Tectone is, I think he's too much of a dude, bro. I like Asmongold being more chill. That's my only thing. Hey, all the way fair. How are you doing? Oh, that's perfectly fine. You guys can lurk and just listen to me on the background, because again, I'm going through this. We're only almost halfway through Rima's video. Then we have to do Oko's video, and we're gonna try to do all of Oko's video. Oko's video is bad, like legitimately bad. Oko's video is there to, I'm not gonna lie, when we get to Oko's video, she openly says, I'm trying to be as unbiased and critically thinking on this as possible. It's not. It's very pointed and is very biased.
Already got nothing to do with my Cinder video. They're just attacking me with blatant lies. And the most frustrating part is that throughout all of this, they keep repeating that they're good faith. They're good faith. And then we have Mizu saying she's actively cutting out anything valid or interesting from the story to better flow with the Cinder bad narrative.
What's the interesting parts of the story? There's no evidence to support your guys' thoughts. There's nothing there. All you guys are saying is Cinder not bad, but everybody else bad. Where's your evidence? Lily's fucking stream where she's going off on a friend that was being a cunt? That's not evidence. That's Lily venting and is basically showing that she supports her fucking friends that none of you apparently have. Or if you do have, you're not good friends.
It just can't be that I saw the same information they did and came to different conclusions. No, it must be that I'm actively cutting out information, that I'm hiding evidence, or that I'm bought out by Mythic. Nothing about this is good faith. Rima has made her bed, and while she can gloat about hitting 100k subscribers and being with Bao and the others, Twitter paints a far different picture. Yeah, because you brigaded it. And yeah, everybody knows that Twitter is reality, am I right? Just like how Nanoles got roasted for her 150k followers post and how she removed the post on, quote, accident. Yes, because you did the same thing with her post. This is how they operate. And you can't tell me that this behavior doesn't cross the line into harassment. And then they loop in the Bao tweet, insinuating that she timed her return on the day that I dropped my video. What timing? These guys are connecting all kind of crazy dots. But calling these people conspiracy theorists is too mild at this point. I think they're just obsessed stalkers.
No, I think calling them conspiracy theorists is right. And you don't, like, you're not... You're doing it in the most negative connotation possible when you call them a conspiracy theorist, because you're connecting these dots that don't make any sort of sense. None of these dots are adding up, and your whole belief structure is that they all connect. They're all together. They're all working together. It's all mythic, but nobody can even point out where any of this evidence is. Like, even Rima points out she made a video criticizing somebody else who's a part of Mythic. I can point out that nobody between Michi or Oko has actually gone after Kirsha, who's also a part of Mythic. They never went after her, and Kirsha had the exact same opinion as Rima. So why didn't you go after Kirsha? When you start laying that stuff out, their entire argument breaks down. They're nothing more than unhinged schizo conspiracy theorists. That's all it is. And I feel bad saying that because, again, Oko has put out content that on some stuff that goes on Twitter that I never saw. And I've used in some of my videos past. But outside of that, you guys don't make any sense. It's not adding up. And there's other people, like another person that they didn't go after. Interestingly enough, Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset full-fledged said that what Cinder did is tortious interference because of your manager's connection. It is a bad thing. You did not do good. You are awful. Everybody else is actually the victim here. Legal Mindset did that. Why didn't they go after Legal Mindset? Why? Seriously, not one of them went after Legal Mindset. Not one of them decided to drag Legal Mindset. And when we get to the Strob part, and Rev says Desu, I saw that part going down on Twitter. I didn't have the full context, even though there was a lot of stuff going around, and I'll talk more about that when I get there. I'm not even lying. During the Strob stuff, there's some weird things that they were trying to paint themselves as the fucking victim the entire time.
Honestly. And their brigading has obviously spread outside of their Discord, into my socials, my celebratory tweets, and even into my live stream, while I was streaming something completely unrelated. This user, for example, got banned after sending me this exact same message, then sent me the same message again in his unban request. And all of this has made it very difficult for me to enjoy something that me and my community have worked so hard to achieve for over a year. Then we have this user fantasizing and hoping I'm able to survive this inevitable crash that's gonna happen to me because I'm on the same train as Shy Lily and the others. And then after all of this, there's Oko here suggesting, hey, let's make a thread dedicated to Rima instead. Wow. But love, respect, guys. Remember,
Rima was also partially considered their friend at the time. They did consider Rima slightly as a friend or an acquaintance, and they let this all go down about their acquaintance.
Let's talk about Strob joining their Discord.
Ooh, yay! This is the best fucking part. I'll be honest, guys. The Strob stuff I saw going down on Twitter, I looked into it. I didn't know where the context was because a lot of the stuff wasn't going on in public that I was seeing. I wasn't watching Mizu's streams because I don't like Mizu. I find him very grating and conspiracy theoried. But I saw a lot of this shit going down on Twitter and nothing was making sense. I wasn't seeing what Mizu and Mama Oko were saying. I was looking at Strob and I still didn't understand what was going on there. So I thought it was just a misunderstanding. Getting this context, I can tell you right now, Mizu and Oko are fucking awful people, and they got called out by both Rev and Strob for who they truly were. But here's all the context, and I'll give you the little bits and pieces that I saw.
Days after my video premiere, and Mizu's tweets are still up. I mentioned to Strob that there's like a Discord with stalker-ish behavior in there, and that Oko warned me about a specific thread where they're saying all kind of things about me and other VTubers. Then I checked it out and saw how schizo they were to Nanoless and other indies. I saw them posting my tweets, they're replying to them, and I tell that to Strob, and she decides to join the Discord to see what they're saying. That's when she saw the rules, saw what they were saying, and left that comment. These are some nice rules you got there. All she did was tap the sign. She didn't say anything inflammatory. All she said was, there are some nice rules you got there. As you can see, no one was made to feel uncomfortable, and everyone was happy to see her. You can see everybody here saying hello, hi Strob, wait, hold, are you the Strob Rev's wife? Indeed, we're never toxic, and we're also definitely very apolitical around here. And she responds to this person saying, this is my biggest accomplishment for sure. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Strob. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I don't even know who you are. Moma Oko saying, listen, all drama is welcome, but we sip our tea nicely. There was no problem. As you can...
And, the reason why I was trying to quickly look something up, because this is actually recent. Because of this video, a lot of shit actually popped off again, and I'm trying to find some of the stuff. And I wish I should have found this earlier. Yes, you guys can criticize me for not having this ready. But I'm trying to go to Mama Oko just to show off, like, hey, she was getting involved in saying shit, and I could never find the evidence to support what she was saying. Like, she was tweeting out that Strob is now leaking my DMs and is an awful person. There's all sorts of things, like, they're constantly trying to re-angle everything that gets said here on as Strob was harassing them and attacking them and trying to take him down, even though as we continue going on, Rima's going to point out how that's not the case. How you guys were literally basically sucking up to Strob. And the moment you found out that Strob wasn't there to engage with you guys and was just trying to see like the actual evidence and was kind of being cheeky about it, you immediately turned on her and tried to start dragging her because, well, fuck it, you're not with us, you're now against us. So we must tear you down as well. That's how it was going. Like, it is not good what was going on there. And I can't find the initial tweet.
You can see everybody's just happy to see her. First day, everyone is greeting her. Mizu's like, hi, Strob. Everyone's saying hello. Normal discussion continues.
And the reason they're doing that is because Strob is Rev says Desu's wife. Strob is connected to one of the largest VTuber creators out there. At least in like the anti-establishment, anti-woke area. Rev puts out videos constantly. Everybody likes Rev. I think some of Rev's videos are and a little clickbaity here or there, but I do like Rev's videos. Getting good with Rev, you're set. So why not try to butter up to Strob? Why not try to, you know, be nice to Strob? Oh my god, Strob came into our Discord. Everything's fucking great and amazing. Oh my god. Now we can rub elbows and, well, clout chase.
Continues, and then second day, normal discussion continues as well. They kind of do this thing where they add everybody in the server, I believe, so they notice her presence. And then, oh my gosh, hi, welcome, big.
Yep, Elfpire Eva, welcome, big fan of your content. I like Eva, well, liked. But she's just as bad as the rest of them.
Fan of your content, afternoon, everyone. So a second entire day goes by where normal discussion continues as usual. And then Oko pings Strob asking if he can message her. And then another entire day goes by where they're just chatting, they're just vibing. And then Strob finally answers just one day later. You can, but if it's about what I think it might be about, you probably won't want to hear what I have to say. So 4 full days have went by with no issues and no one was made to feel uncomfortable. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because now they're changing their tunes and claiming that she came in swinging, she came into their space, that Strob rated them. Where is the rating? They're just making shit up. After Oko pinged,
they recontextualize the whole, those are some nice rules you got there. Because I'll admit it, I think Strob was a little cheeky. I think Strob was being a little cheeky. I know she was saying, well, I'm pointing out, you know, I'm making some jokes because, well, Rima's my friend and you were acting like that, but because she was being a little cheeky, they recontextualized it to Strob was coming in swinging. No, those are some nice rules you got there, fully knowing what was actually going on in there.
Strob, the convo continued in DMs, and Strob explained how disturbed she was by the Discord stuff that she had seen, and how she disagreed with how Mizu treated me. Then Oko reported that conversation to Mizu, and it was only after that Mizu reached out to Strob to argue in DMs, and that's when she told him directly that
I'll remind you, Mama Oko said that Strob was leaking DMs. Person that first leaked the DMs was, well, Mama Oko.
She didn't agree with what he had done. And it was only from that point onward that Mizu's and Oko's attitude towards Strob presence in the Discord suddenly shifted. Before that, there was 3 full days where they had no issues with her being there. Everything was fine, but the moment she disagreed with them, suddenly it became a problem. And now suddenly the narrative is she started it, she came in swinging, she came to start.
She didn't start anything, she just heard something was happening and came in swinging instead of talking to anyone. I mean, she just heard something was happening and she came in and was cheeky at the start, but didn't cause any drama for 4 days. Mizu ruined his career. How? Strob raided the Discord and started shit and got called out. 4 days. No problems. 4 days. 4 long days. The moment you point out the timeline, things don't add up.
shit, etc., etc. Now let's see what Mizu
etc.
says about it on his live stream.
I'm gonna be honest, whenever I do watch a Rima video and she says, because she's obviously foreign, whenever she says something like that with her accent, like etc., I have to mimic it because I find it funny.
She says, I didn't come here, you messaged me, Akko messaged me. Again, she came to my Discord. I don't know why she's trying to push this. She's pushed this on Twitter, she pushes this in our DMs. She came to our space and she's just demanding like that she didn't come to our space. Like I don't understand what she...
Well, yeah, she went into your Discord to look at what you guys were doing. Is there any rocket science there, guys? I mean, people come into my Discord from time to time, see what's going on there, sees that it's dead. It's dead. Again, I need to figure out ways to fix my Discord, but she goes into the people go into my Discord, see what's going on, and they'll leave or stay or whatever. Happens all the time. But she went in your Discord and you didn't have a problem for 4 fucking days.
She wants. I didn't seek her out.
You did seek her out. After she had a talk with Oko, you messaged Strob to talk to her. You were fine with everything before that.
So maybe he is also misinformed. That's the only reason I said that. At the end of the day, I just didn't like what I saw. So this is how I find out that Strob is like messaging Akko.
Oh, hold up, found another lie. He tries to pretend this is how he found out that Strob was messaging Akko. It's there in black and white in the DMs between Akko and Strob. Mizu has informed me, by the way, he's willing to talk to you about it if you want. Strob responds he can message me if he wants, but I'm not sure he will change my mind much. He's been notified.
Wow, I didn't know that they were messaging Strob, guys. Even though Oko told me he was messaging Strob. Yeah, I didn't know he was ever messaging. I didn't know any of that was going on. Even though they told me, I didn't know any of that was going on. Maybe it's and here's the thing, okay? Let's say Oko's right that Strob was leaking DMs. When you're acting like this, you kind of get forced into a hard corner. Leaking DMs is gay, but when people are acting like this, trying to ignore what actually happened to hurt other people, you don't have much choice. If it's going to help you out, you got to do it. And guess what? They were lying about what was going on there. They weren't telling the truth. They were trying to make themselves the victim. When you start laying out the timeline of events, they're no longer the victim. They're just cunts.
This is another thing. They will talk smack about me, but they will message Akko, they will message Lumi, they will message my other friends, and they will try and like talk.
And again, I don't have any problems with Lumi. Lumi's never given me a reason not to like Lumi. But everybody else, Oko and Mizu, I'm sorry, you guys, even Eva, you guys, you're coming off as cunts. Sorry.
And here's another lie. She didn't message Akko. Akko messaged her, and she never messaged Lumi. What are you even talking about? Okay, so what happened next? Somebody then asked if Strob is still in the Discord. Now that Mizu knows how Strob actually feels about him, then he says was, and this dude responds, someone served her tea too hot. Mizu responds, I may or may not talk about it later. Need to seek advice first. Then this dude responds, maybe the UTT host shouldn't have started orbiting her the moment she walked into the server. Just a thought. You're all a bunch of cloud chasers pissing your pants with excitement the moment 100k plus subs walks in. I've greeted her too, but I've greeted plenty of other newcomers all the same. Strob enters and suddenly the host gets off their asses and roll out the red carpet. How about you bozos start treating the members with more respect and not just people whose career you can benefit from? Drama VTubers are all the same. This made Mizu seethe and reply, gonna give a fair warning. Criticism is fine, but bugging down main chat with hate towards the host of the server you're in is inappropriate. At the end of the day, this is our space for our community.
I mean, guys, I'll fully admit it. I've admitted it on stream. I'm a absentee father when it comes to my Discord. But I try to acknowledge everybody when they come in. If they come in and I see it, I try to acknowledge them. I try to give them a wave. I try to say, hey, welcome to my Discord. I know it's dead, but welcome. Diz has been on streams with me. Diz is in my Discord. I try to acknowledge everybody that comes in. I don't see it. I'm bad at Discord. I really am bad at Discord. But I also try to treat all 100K subs or all the big guys the same way I would treat a small guy, because you all are important. And the thing is, Mizu and Oko, they are clout chasers. I have seen it with my own eyes on multiple occasions now. They are clout chasers. They just want to grow and get big. And if they think they can grow off of you, they'll take you. If they don't think they can grow off of you, they'll cut you down. And if you speak ill about them, they'll cut you down even harder. They'll go be big into you. That's why it's honestly kind of bad if I actually do these videos, but I think they're not going to touch it.
Oh yeah, Mizu? That's off limit when it comes to you, but what about my stream, my comment section? After that, Mizu messaged me asking me to stop talking about it on the situation, but I had already done that. I had never spoken about it. The only person I had shown the DMs to was Strob on the very day the DMs were happening.
And this is the only video Rima has ever put out on this subject. She's never talked about it publicly. She never went into it publicly. So you could say, hey, stop doing it. She wasn't doing anything. You're now just trying to blame everybody else except for your own bad actions. Take accountability, you fucking twat.
This message came 4 days later. Having no desire to engage with Mizu again, I simply replied with a thumbs up because I was like, it's over anyway. So while I was live streaming, I found out that he had already broken the agreement he had asked me to keep by once again posting about it on social media and cropping Strob's private DMs out of context. For the record, that post came an entire day after his exchange with Strob and 4 full days after she had joined the Discord server. He wants to pretend that 1, he didn't do this first, and that 2, that it wasn't an attack. Listen, you posted someone's DMs and then you later on admitted on your live stream from your own mouth that it was an attack by calling it a jab.
Posted 2 jabs at her before I saw that she posted a jab at me.
And that screenshot he shows is already out of context. 1, she didn't reach out to you, you barged into her DMs, and 2, she had already said she didn't want to argue with you. You still wanted to argue, so she told you, then go argue with Grok. Strob had already removed herself from the conversation.
Information.
But they need Strob to keep attacking. They need to keep doing that because then they're the innocent victim. They're the victim. Strob attacked them. Large channels are attacking them because large channels are threatened by them. The larger creators just are threatened because they know that the larger creators are dishonest and they're scared of the T podcast. They're scared of everything that we're going to say because we have the power to tear people down and show just how unawful they truly are behind the scenes and how they're just grifters. No, you're just crybaby twats that can't take accountability for your own fucking actions. And when people call you out, you want to say that everybody else is the bad person, not yourself. Grow the fuck up.
In here, it was just me doing like a fake Twitter apology. And I thought it'd be kind of cute and funny. And as you can see on the bottom here, apparently she decided to fire back before I had posted this. So she had fired back after this one.
Fire back? You can't fire back at someone without being fired at first, by the way.
But I hadn't seen it until after I posted this. So I have no problem admitting that I posted 2 jabs at her before I saw that she posted a jab at me.
There you go. He admitted that he posted 2 jabs at her. He's the one that attacked her first twice by his own admittance. Also, what are you saying? 1 minute it's an anonymous, it's cute, next thing it's a jab. You're talking from both sides of your mouth. How are you lying so fast?
No problem admitting that. So she had gone in and she posted this. Can't believe someone would unironically say this, and it's in this case, if you don't think like me, you're morally wrong.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have actually said that, and there is evidence that Lumi will go through it, that Michi believes stuff like this, Michi, Mizu, whatever the fuck you want to call them. There's also evidence of a lot of other people saying that. Dev is a good example of that. Not Rev says, Desu. Short fat otaku Dev. Yeah, he believes this. There's a lot of people that actually believe this. If you disagree with me, you're just morally wrong. No, people are allowed to disagree with you. They're not always morally wrong. Sometimes what the morally correct thing there is very questionable. But no, Mizu actually has the position that if you disagree with me, you're morally wrong and you're just a stupid person. There's other people that I think are stupid that I disagree with, and there's other people I think are really smart that I disagree with. Doesn't matter.
So this is kind of getting past where I would consider the anonymity range. Because if you search this up, you will immediately find my tweet. I can tell most people didn't search it up, because if you do, you can see the full context. So, what?
Okay. I mean, you still tweeted it out. What's the full context? Let's see what the full context is.
People have been trying to say is that the context of this is that I was harassing Rima for not agreeing with me on the Cinder situation.
That is not even true. No one is saying that. Also, this was a back and forth you had in your replies on your call out post on me, where you argued back and forth with this user, and the context actually makes it far worse. He's basically arguing back and forth with this user, and this person is just saying they've seen the same evidence as him, but that people largely don't agree with him on
largely don't agree with him. Okay, yeah, most people don't agree with you on this topic, LOL. Those same people also actively refuse to view information from the other side, so I don't really care what they think, LOL. I've had people watch Shylily say stuff directly only for them to turn around and tell me she never said it. It's pure denial at this point. No, she said a lot of stuff. You just take out the context and ignore what was actually going on there. Personally, I've seen both sides, and when I compare them, I just don't see how Lily could be that bad guy. The bad guy. I'll recognize she says those things, but the comparison isn't even close, LMAO. She says far worse than anything Cinder has been shown to say, and all her evidence of Cinder even saying anything is, by her own admission, entirely third-party hearsay. They literally have nothing on Cinder, but everyone ran with it anyways. I mean, Cinder did admit to it all. If you guys don't remember, Cinder also put out a document saying, yeah, I did all this. Yeah, this is true. But it's also Red was the bad guy. So, I mean, she admitted to it. What the fuck do you want there? Ignore that? Jesus Christ. I believe the exact opposite, actually. Translate, well, I don't know what that is. I mean, you can, I guess. But literally says, word for word, it's all third-party hearsay. And we have exactly 2 screenshots of Cinder saying stuff that is entirely responsible for not sus be with absolutely nothing else. No, they had more than 1 screenshots. It's even in the docs. They had several screenshots, but they said we put our strongest screenshots in the documents, and the strongest screenshots of her are actually out there. Everything else is hearsay, but it's hearsay because they don't have the context around it. That's what Lily said, but I mean, again, context matters, guys. I don't like any parts. I have no skin in this game. I don't watch either content. And at this point, you're choosing to believe these parts the parts you like. I don't like any parts. I have no skin in the game. I don't watch either content. I follow them both on her simply because I like their models. I feel as though you're doing a bit of projection by saying that. I respect your opinion because I know what you like / don't like about the situation, but personally, the screenshots are Red and Cinder. The screenshots of Red and Cinder paint a worse picture in my eyes than anything Lily has said so far. They literally do. Everybody has agreed that they literally do. This, I'm not even doing this whole like, hey, the majority of people think this, so that means you must think that. No, it's the reason people agree with that, and the majority of people agree with that, is because they're just using basic common sense. When you read through those things, you can't come away from, yeah, these people were doing good things. No, it's all bad. And then you see Shylily and everything Shylily did. You start looking at it like, oh, Shylily was being a friend. Shylily was being a friend and went full best friend mode. And when you attack her friends, it's pretty obvious she'll cut you down. She doesn't like doing that, but you went after her friends. Oh, but because she went best friend mode and cut somebody down for being an open twat nugget, that means that Shylily is also just as bad. No. I'm not even joking. I don't think Mizu has actual friends. Or Michi, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. I don't think he has actual friends. I don't think he's an actual friend. Because if somebody was going after my friends, like if I found out that Static or Adam was trying to cut each other down the way that Cinder and Red were trying to cut people down, if I found that shit out, I would destroy the other one. I'm not even joking. I would full-fledged try to destroy either one of them because that's not how that shit gets played. I've had people do this to me, actually. I've had people come after me and try to destroy me and destroy my reputation because they don't like something I said or they don't like things about me. Where's that person now? Not where he was before. I'm not going to dig too much deeper into that because that drama really needs to just stay away because that's fucked up. But where are those people? Actions like this have consequences. I get it, but real friends stick up for the other friend. Real friends do that. Everything Lily does makes logical sense in the sense that Bao and all of her friends were being treated like shit by somebody they thought was their friend. So yeah, you go cutthroat mode. And every time I look at this, I see that Mizu doesn't have real friends. And Mizu's not a real friend because it's very clear Mizu has no problem tearing people down. Fuck, I'm willing to bet you money there's a chance he'll do it to Oka one day. There's literally 2 screenshots of Cinder. That's the issue. There's literally nothing on Cinder, so you're relying entirely on Lily saying, "Trust me, bro, she knew." No, remember, even Legal Mindset said, listen, if Red is her manager, every action that the manager takes reflects onto the person himself. That is a requirement there. Legal Mindset spelled that shit out. So you have to now ignore what Legal Mindset is saying. But hey, you guys love Legal Mindset. You guys love Kirsch. Everybody has pretty much gone after this. But hey, listen, when the bigger guys, people who are much bigger than me, say shit that I disagree with, we're not even going to call them out. Yeah, your main issue is that your main issue is that you think Red and Cinder weren't communicating. As someone who's engaged to another VTuber, we both know everything about the other, same as for every other VTuber couple with a few outliers. To say she didn't know is intellectually dishonest.
This topic, and the person is even being nice about it. Yeah, most people don't agree with you on this topic. Those same people also actively refuse to view information from the other side, so I don't really care what they think, lol. Personally, I've seen both sides, and when I compare them, I just don't see how Lily could be the bad guy. I'll recognize she says those things about the comparison isn't even close. She says far worse than anything Cinder has shown to say. He continues to argue back and forth. The user keeps on emphasizing that they believe the exact opposite, actually. And he just keeps pressing on, saying, at this point, you're choosing to believe the parts you like. The user responds, I don't like any parts. I have no skin in the game. I don't watch either content. I follow them both on here because I like the models. I feel as though you're doing a bit of projection by saying,
I mean, their models are really damn good. Let's be real fair here.
that I respect your opinion because I know what you don't like about the situation, but personally, the screenshot of Red and Cinder paint a worse picture in my eyes than anything Lily has said so far. There are literally 2 screenshots of Cinder, that's the issue. There's literally nothing on Cinder, so you're relying entirely on Lily saying, trust me bro, she knew. And Cinder put out no screenshots either. And then they argue back and forth about communication.
Your issue is that you think communication means 100% understanding of every little thing he said, and not the more reasonable, hey, I talked to Nano about going exclusive with us, we'll see how it goes. They were managers, and everybody who actually knew them personally has said, no, they talk constantly about business and knew exactly what everybody was saying. So again, you're having to ignore actual context. I hate people like this. I legitimately hate people like this because it's very clear they're ignoring all the other context. They're ignoring everything just for their own narrative. He's doing exactly what he's being called out for. It was my business. I'd want absolutely everything. So at the very least, you're defending incompetence, which led to friendships falling apart. Incompetence is when you trust your manager to manage and don't demand their Discord logs. He was also her boyfriend. They lived together. Just gonna put that out there. This is a standard I know for a fact you don't actually hold outside of this argument. I mean, you're straw manning, so yeah, you're retarded. Also, there were no friendships. The girls have clarified in their own posts they were just waiting for Cinder to mess up so they could torch her. Where is the evidence for any of that? They keep saying that that's the thing. I've never seen the evidence for anything like that to actually come out. None of that has ever been stated by anybody, but you always recite it to doesn't matter how many times you say it, until you show me fucking receipts, it's not true. Yeah, we're not gonna agree. You refuse to believe that people will hold their manager to a higher degree because they represent them as a CC. And they were friends. That's factual, given I can find screenshots of them calling each other that. And they also went to Japan together. They hung out together. They went to TwitchCon together. They literally did TwitchCon panels together. They went to so many cons together. It's insane. They did all sorts of offline collaborations, like things they didn't even record. They went to each other's birthday parties. They were friends. Again, I don't remember where the stream is, and I don't remember if it was a Battle stream, a Cinder stream, or it was a Numi stream. But one of them talked about going, I think it was a Cinder stream. I legitimately think it was a Cinder stream, where Cinder talks about how they went to Numi's birthday in Vegas. They all had these beautiful dresses on. They all were doing these really cool things and talking about how they celebrated Numi's birthday in Vegas. And Bao bought a fucking cake for Numi, brought it into the hotel room they were all in, but it was supposed to be a surprise cake. So as she was trying to put it in the fridge, she was telling Numi, "Don't you fucking look around. I'm struggling to put this in the fridge. It's for later." Then they all went out clubbing in Vegas. That is an actual stream. Anybody saying they weren't friends has to ignore years of content. What was it? I don't know who they are. We also have been given factual statements from the involved parties that it was all just smoke and mirrors for clout. But again, you ignore those parts because they're extremely inconvenient to the narrative. Where is the context to any of that? I don't. I've read them. I've stated that you just refuse to believe that someone doesn't think like you. I acknowledge your opinion and can see why you think that way. Why can't you do the same? In this case, if you don't think like me, you're morally wrong. This is why I and many others take such great issues with your opinion. You think it's okay to take the side of the aggressor with no evidence, but that people need evidence to believe in innocent until proven guilty. In reality, we are the only side that is right based on basic moral principles, but first world countries pretend to use as a bedrock for our legal system. This isn't... Okay, great. Bring up innocent until proven guilty. They proved her guilty. Cinder admitted she was guilty. Where's the fucking argument, you fucking... I'm trying not to say naughty no-no words, just in case Rima does see this, or Mizu says this, or Oko sees this, or any of them see this, okay? I'm trying. I'm really trying. But it gets really hard when you just see how dumb they are and how idiotic all these positions are. It doesn't make sense. None of this is adding up. It's all stupid. And when you point out how stupid they sound, they have to do these moral arguments. They have to straw man. And then they're going to do moral grandstanding because, well, we're believing in innocent until proven guilty. There's no court system, blah, 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 blah. She admitted to it. Fuck off.
Incompetence is when you trust your manager to manage
Adam,
and don't amend their Discord logs. This is a standard I know for a fact you do not actually hold outside of this argument. Also, there were no friendship. The girls have clarified in their own post they were just waiting for Cinder to mess up so they could torch her. The user responds, "Yeah, we're not going to agree. You refuse to believe that people will hold their manager to a high degree because they represent them as a CC. And they were friends. That's factually given. I can find screenshots of them calling each other that." Missile skips over this info and says, "We also have been given factual statements from the involved parties that this was all just smoke and mirrors for clout." But again, You ignore those parts because they're extremely inconvenient to the narrative. Sounds familiar? I don't. I've read them. I've stated that. You just refuse to believe that someone doesn't think like you. There you go. This user's exactly on it. I acknowledge your opinion and can see why you think that way. Why can't you do the same for me? In this case, he replies, if you don't think like me, you're morally wrong. This is why I and many others take such great issue with your opinion. You think it's okay to take the side of the aggressor with no evidence, but that people need evidence to believe an innocent until proven guilty. In reality, we are the only side that is right.
There is evidence of her guilt, and Cinder even admitted it, but...
Based on basic moral principles most first world countries pretend to use as a bedrock for our legal...
Okay, then, you know what? Everything Mizu... legitimately, I just thought about this, because Mizu's a drama tuber that likes to show off all this shit. Every time Mizu puts out a video or a stream or anything on this subject from now on, anything calling people out or saying anything like that, Mizu, I want the fucking evidence. And you know what? They're innocent until proven guilty. They're innocent until a legal system comes through, because guess what? You're not the moral arbiter of all this. From now on, every fucking thing. Mizu, I want every fucking receipt. If this is the position you are taking, shut down your fucking channel. You try to say everybody else is a problem, everybody else is a pariah. Fuck you, take down your channel. I want the truth. Exactly, I want the fucking truth. If this is the position you're fucking taking, you can't do drama content anymore.
System. And even after Mizu goes full schizo on them, the other person just replies like a normal human being. But this is classic Mizu, by the way. He wants to twist your arm until you agree with him, and if you don't, then all these claims starts is you're dismissive of small channels, you didn't see the evidence, you're morally wrong, you're ignoring evidence. You can't just disagree with him. Like, this is the gist of it. You are the meme, Mizu. You are the meme. And now after he's fired his 2 jabs like he said at Strob, and she responds with this tweet, and then he turns around and goes screaming that he's being beat up on by larger creators.
Like, the sanctity of your DMs. A large creator, they can share their DMs privately with their friends, who are typically other large creators, which allows them to cause like smaller creators problems without inviting the public scrutiny of people knowing that they're leaking DMs to people.
Okay, yeah, let's say creators are doing that. You want to know how you combat that? Seriously, you guys want to know how you combat that? Just don't be a schizo. Just don't be a schizo and a conspiracy theorist, and honestly, a bad faith actor. You don't have those problems. Interesting.
Kind of skirts the unspoken rule of anonymity we'll go with anonymity. The anonymity that DMs have, because obviously you're allowed to talk to your friends about your problems. But what happens when those friends start acting publicly on your behalf because of what they saw in those DMs? You kind of get the benefit of leaking people's private DMs without any of the downsides of publicly like putting them on blast.
Okay, people start thinking that you're a shitty human being. Yeah, that's happened before. Rima actually has a video about that. Honestly, on one of the videos that she mentioned here, she has a video on that. Smaller creators were being cut down by another larger creator, and that larger creator was going behind the scenes to DMs to tell people not to engage with them because she was a bad human being and a shitty person. Yeah, guess what? You want to know how that happens? You man up and you call them out. Quit acting like you're some sort of fucking victim here. Man the fuck up. I get it. You're gay. I get it. You want to be this Shoto kind of thing that is honestly creepy and disturbing to me. Like, I don't like womb tattoos at all. And especially on somebody that looks like this, it's really creepy and disturbing. I don't care what somebody says. This is creepy and disturbing. Man the fuck up. Quit acting like a goddamn bitch. That's what I have to say there. Okay? I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be good faith. You're acting like a bitch.
She didn't even use her fan base. No one from her community followed her when she joined her Discord. She was there alone. No one even knew about this. Her being a big creator or a small creator has nothing to do with this.
Smaller creator, though, DMs literally have no value unless you make them public. Because I could share like a horrendous DM I got to every single friend I have, but like 20 of my friends calling somebody with like 100,000 followers an asshole isn't gonna do anything.
No, it will. It will, because you know what? I shouldn't do this because we're on we're watching this video. Give me a second. It will. You want to know why? You want to know why that will actually have impact? I'm gonna go to Rima's channel because it's becoming more and more clear that Mizu doesn't watch any of Rima's content. The video that she even pointed out, I'm trying to find it real quick just to circle it and everything. Yeah, right here. The video she pointed out of how like she even talked about Mythic creators and things like that. This one right here, backstabbing. This one right here, the duo. Yeah, they would have ever been exposed if a bunch of smaller creators didn't come out, because this person right here had millions of subs. They would have ever been exposed until 20 plus creators came out and called them out. So yeah, your whole claim is bullshit. But Dermy, she's trying to be sexy and she's like over 800 years old, so it's all good. No. That's a boy. This isn't a lolly, okay? This is Shoto. This is a Shoto by his own explanation. This is a Shoto, not lolly. I know people are gonna think they're the same. Lolly is girl or Lolita. Shoto was boy. This is a Shoto. So it's even creepier with a womb tattoo. Well, not a womb tattoo.
What? She didn't even call you an asshole. Where are we now? Like,
I will, asshole.
Are you lost, Mizu?
I've been like so beat up on. This is not really
Ariel. He's called himself a Shoto.
like a downside for me to just say, okay, well, fine. Here's what we talked about.
So this is Mizu claiming he's being so beat up on, Mr. Professional Victim.
Way where they can kind of publicly bash me, but I don't have a way to respond.
You started all of this when you made the tweet. You said they were jabs. Why wouldn't they respond? And if you didn't want them to respond, why would you attack them in the first place? So small creators can do 2 jabs and Strob can't respond? Oh no, if it's not the consequences of your own actions. This is the beating up that's going on. The high Strobs, the Oko adds the whole Discord so more people could come say hi to Strob, and it goes on till the next day. No one is seeing any of this. You're hallucinating. And then he says he can't fire back. He's been firing all along. You even said in your own word that you threw 2 jabs at her. Why do you take a shot at someone if you're not expecting a response? You wanted a response from her, so let's hear it again.
Posted 2 jabs at her before I saw that she posted a jab at me.
What's really upsetting is that Mizu's been using that DM he sent me where he asked me not to talk about it anymore to pretend that things were settled in between us and that Strob is continuing this fight on her own, which is, as you've seen, absolutely not the case.
Oh wait, shit, I was trying to go back. Here, give me a moment. Hey, any anonymous person of interest. I had ChatGPT help me write this to make sure the tone stays respectful and constructive. It seemed like things had been settled with our mutual friend, so I was a little surprised to see you stepping in on their behalf. If there's still something unresolved, I'm open to talking about it. Okay, so this is all towards Strob, and no, this didn't happen because you immediately destroyed it, so fuck off. When you joined my Discord and made some comments, they came off as passive-aggressive. Nope, that did not happen. We've already gone over that evidence. She was in there for 4 days. You all fawned over her, and then the moment DMs were going back and forth, you all got mad. And didn't feel fair to me. Starting things off by saying you weren't interested in hearing my side made it really hard to have a meaningful conversation. Nope, didn't happen. Also, suggesting I use grok instead of explaining what was bothering you felt dismissive. No, at that time, because of all the back and forth that you guys were going on, she said, just go argue with grok. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. So yes, it was dismissive, but it was after multiple rounds of going back and forth. So yes, but you leave that all out. So, and seeing a tweet taken out of context, especially when others have admitted to doing so with the intent to hurt, was upsetting. Well, when you add the context, it gets much worse. I'm still open to having a calm and honest conversation. My DMs are open if you're willing to talk things out through privately, but I'd really appreciate it if we could avoid continuing this in public spaces, especially if it's based on misunderstanding. Thanks for taking the time to read this. I will wipe that. I will use that to wipe my ass.
Continuing this fight on her own.
Well, let's be fair. Okay, I know I had to stop, but all of this is bullshit. None of it happened. You have to take out all the context to make you the victim. But I mean, you're used to that.
Which is, as you've seen, absolutely not the case. When in fact, it started with him and everything he chose to do from day one. And the worst part is, even after this tweet, he still says, my DMs are open if you're willing to talk things out privately, but I'd really appreciate if you could avoid continuing this in public spaces, especially if it's based on misunderstanding. And then what does Mizu do? He continues on continuing this in public spaces. And then he's like, oh, apparently she fired back. Maybe it's time I talk about this on stream.
No, you always wanted to talk about it on stream. It doesn't fucking matter. That's what you do. When people start clapping back at you, you make an entire stream about it. Here's the thing. I go back over to the Tectone stuff. When Mizu antagonized Tectone and Tectone clapped back, Mizu called Tectone a crybaby. And then made a stream about Tectone, calling out Tectone and saying Tectone was compromised because he's a part of Mythic. So, yeah. Ariel, don't blame me. Don't blame me. No, Ariel, Static's not drunk. Static's a wuss that doesn't drink anymore. He just hates talking VTubers. He wants to call this all gay, even though I said I was going to do this. So, eat my ass, Static! But no, here's the thing. You always had the intent to turn this into content. And I go back to what he said about Dev. He called Dev awful, heinous things. He said that Dev was a disrespectful jackass who would turn everything into content because that's the era he comes from. Anything is content to him. There's no friends he has. If you clap at him, he'll turn into content. He'll turn every little thing into content. Mizu does the exact same thing. Mizu's a fucking hypocrite. That's all you can see here. I need to go and find that Oko video because when you hear what he was saying about Dev and you see what he does here, it's like, well, yeah, you're doing the same fucking shit. I wish this would be more amusing. Static, this is the reason why I had to start with a Rima one is because it lays everything out very, very well. The next one, we're gonna see how long we can actually sit through it. Huh? What do you mean, huh? Toss that salad, Static. That's right, toss that salad.
You don't want to have a calm and honest conversation, Mizu. You just want to be right. And then he continues to make other tweets where, again, he's pretending to be the victim. I noticed he came into my public Discord and made some passive-aggressive comments, even though I thought things had already been cleared up. All of this is just cry bully behavior. When Mizu, you've started all of this.
She said, I meant the post you deleted. I just believe none of this should have happened. So I replied, that's a fair opinion. I was just giving my thoughts on how she handled the coverage of this situation. Had she answered my first DM to discuss it or not, timed me out or not timed me out in chat, or not hidden my reply to the video, probably wouldn't have posted my opinion to Twitter. So I've intentionally avoided.
Remember, he got timed out in the chat for self-promotion and which was not okay with her rules of her chat. Which usually that gives you a ban. So they actually went lesser on him. And then all of his stuff was, you need to immediately talk to me.
Like trying to shit on Rima at all. because like I said, I thought it was done.
You thought it was done by twisting a screenshot from my Discord out of context?
After seeing some stuff tonight, I just don't care anymore because she's just trying to attack me relentlessly, and I can't be bothered to like guard her.
You never cared, first of all, and second of all, I attacked him relentlessly. Is this dude living in an alternate reality? Where? Look at my
Yeah, that's right, Static. Quit attacking me relentlessly. Quit coming after me, you bastard. This is all your fault, Static. And Adam. And Cloud. Gal. Who else can I throw under the bus right now? Trying to think of somebody else I can throw under the bus. Fuck.
Twitter, look at my live streams. There's nothing.
I mentioned it early on at the start, and I'll mention it again for people that are here.
Actually, real quick, by the way, I can confirm Rima does not like any of this. I have my sources. I have the people I have talked to. I can confirm she doesn't like any of this. She doesn't want to talk about any of this. She just wants it to get over with. I can confirm that through several sources that I do have. Okay? And I don't like playing the source game, but I actually do have sources that have confirmed this shit. So, yeah. She doesn't like this stuff. She only did this because she couldn't handle it anymore. And we're going to see, like, it's bad.
Problem is, I don't have a way to fight back.
What the hell is he wearing? Stub mitts? No, I think that's I think it's a water jacket. Because remember, the Under the Tea crowd, they all have to be water-based, fish-based, or something like that. Where Mama Oko is a octopus, Lumi is a mermaid, and for a long time, Mizu was also a mermaid, but I think he wanted to become something else, so now he's a puddle kappa. Or a puddle. I think he calls himself the Puddle Shoto. Let me see. What does he call himself? What does he call himself? Puddle Yokai. That's what he calls them. Here, I'm Hayden is going after me. Hayden is going after me. Photoshop. I spelled Photoshop wrong. Photoshopped. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Photoshopped. I don't believe you. Sorry, I have to be
Other than my video, right?
You've been fighting back this entire time. In fact, you've been the only one fighting. Dude, that's literally them about everything. That's them about this issue. That's them about the Cinder stuff that they're still fighting about 1 month later. And now...
Oh, it's bad. Like, you can't talk Cinder with any of them. And just to point out, after Rima put out this video, I know we still have 15 minutes left in it. Let me see. Do I have it here? I don't have it here anymore. Fuck. Wait, no, I do have it. Yeah, right here. Mizu put out a 5-hour fucking stream. At least, even though Oko unlisted and changed the name of her fucking video or his fucking video multiple fucking times, even though Oko did that and is trying to say, well, I had high emotions right there. You know, I had high emotions. And we're going to watch this next. At least this one's 34 minutes. Mizu went a whole 5 oh, excuse me. 5 fucking hours. So yeah, you just kept going.
They're like, oh, I gotta defend myself. Bro, you've been the one attacking.
Like, yeah, I could talk to my friends and be like, hey, like, these people are being kind of shitty to me and getting their followers to kind of, like, gang up on me and cause issues. But what am I going to say other than that? Like, I love Lumi and Akko, but what are they going to do? They're going to support me as friends. And
Lumi has connections to several large creators. In fact, Lumi has connections to people like Dev. Lumi has connections to, fuck, I can't think of his name. He goes on side scrollers a lot. Fuck, what is his? Arch. Lumi has connections to Arch because she goes on Archcast. She has connections to New Black Streets or, yeah, New Black Streets or New Black City, whatever it was. Kata's show. I almost said Hada. Why did I almost say Hada? She has connections there because she's on that stream. Lumi has connections to everybody. Okay? So, You can't say that. Well, what are we gonna do? We don't have this. You have connections. And in fact, he'll go on in this video she'll show you say you have connections to large creators, so why aren't you fucking using them? If that's all you have, if you have these connections, why aren't you using them? Yes, it's all gay.
That's nice. Having that support's good. But that helps me in real world. That doesn't help me in digital world.
I guess Mizu is actually the one who doesn't care about small creators and actually cares more about the online world than the real world. Like, usually people say Twitter doesn't matter, only your real friends matter, but it's just all upside down with them. Also, that small creator thing means nothing. Stop using that as a shield. If you pipe up, you're gonna get a response. That's just a
Based! If you pipe up and you say something stupid, people are gonna call you stupid.
classic VTuber
Just like I'm gonna say, Static, you're stupid.
excuse. This is about what you did, and hiding
calling him a
behind your
VTuber
smaller
is
audience
harsh.
doesn't excuse your behavior. You're not being called out because you're small. You're getting called out because you crossed a line. In fact,
I don't know.
several lines.
I wish he would.
So all of this is to set the record straight on all of these people's lives, because this makes all of Mizu's arguments just fall apart. This all started with Mizu being disruptive in my live stream, my comment section, doing the call out post on Twitter, misconstruing my screenshot out of context. We argue in DMs, he makes more tweets, Strob joins the Discord, she points out the rule, there was no attack, everything was cool until not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 days later, Mizu decides it isn't anymore, and because he realized that Strob doesn't agree with what he did, and he makes a post on Twitter. Sorry, not just one post, 2 posts. He throws 2 jabs at her on Twitter. She responds, and now he gets to play the victim. He claims big creators are coming after him, claims he's being beat up on. Then he goes on and stream and acts like a professional victim. Give me a break. Mizu can't admit that he's just butthurt about people making memes about him, about something he actually said. So he's got to twist this too and add that it's evil memes and that the people specifically said they made it and wanted to spread it to ruin my reputation.
I think Mizu's has a problem with the fact that he's nothing more than a lolcow. Like, calling him a VTweeter, I think, is probably too nice. He's a lolcow. People don't respect him. People don't acknowledge him. He's a lolcow. He wants to be something big. But when he says something stupid and people make fun of him for saying stupid stuff, instead of realizing, hey, maybe I, said something kind of stupid here, he has to double down because he has to be right. So by doing that, he's become naturally a lolcow. I will straight up say, I think Mizu's a lolcow. I think he's a bad person, and I think he's a fucking lolcow who has to drag other people down because he always has to be fucking right. He's honestly no different than fucking short fat otaku.
When no one's ever said that. You're just butthurt. And then he goes on Twitter and takes a screen cap of the media in my Discord server, not from yesterday, but from a couple days ago, which was a response to his call-out post when he went and acted full crazy and schizo on Twitter. And he has the nerves to say that's too far, when we saw what's going on in his Discord server with the harassment, the brigading, and the obsession going on there.
Remember, they celebrated when Nanolist deleted a tweet because they brigaded Nanolist and called Nanolist a bunch of heinous shit, like full-fledged disgusting shit. But hey, you can't make a meme.
And then he has the nerve to say he doesn't want to have to do this, he doesn't want to have to keep milking this and dragging this on, but let's be real, no one believes that. And even though I haven't responded and I haven't even defended myself against any of these tweets, comments, live stream that he's done, I've recently been made aware that Mizu is sending members of his Discord server to message not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, but multiple members of my Discord server to ask them to spy on me, and they're even thinking about trying to get some.
That's funny. I know I watched this all the way through and I heard this, but that was on Monday. I didn't realize just how bad it was gonna get. Man. Look at all the people we could probably get to be spies. I ate a salad and a steak and fell asleep. We're still on this. This was an hour-long video, buddy. We still got a 30-minute video. It was always going to take a while because I try to do transformative content. If I'm going to watch a video, I'm going to try my hardest to do transformative. If Remo was going to put in like any of her usual things here or there, like Rima will do sponsorships and stuff like that. I would play her sponsorships all the way through and like even try to find the link to put it in my chat. I'm gonna do Rima good justice, but I'm also gonna do like the whole creative content here because it's her video. She did the work. I'm gonna try to at least make it as creative as possible to make it free, fair use. I have to do that. That's my responsibility. I'm not gonna just replay Rima's video all the way through.
My mods. That is the place that is supposed to be my home, my sanctuary for me and my viewer. And this is something that goes, by the way, against their own.
I will say this, and I'm not like here. I'm gonna be fair here. This is me being fair, because I don't think you sent Strob. Okay, I don't think you sent Strob. I think Strob went in there willingly, of her own volition. But let's say they think that you sent Strob. This makes sense that they think they need to start sending in spies to your Discord because Strob went into their Discord. I can see at least the path there. Okay, I'm being fair in this criticism. I get what they're doing because that did happen to them. So I get why they're doing this all. So you can't really say it's your safety and your sanctuary when you criticized, you know, them for saying the same stuff. You don't really get that one. But yes, I will also say it is fucked up behavior to do this, period. Even if they think that that's what Rima did and it's not true, them doing it doesn't make anything better. It just makes it all worse.
Server rules, but of course they're not being enforced. I want to repeat one last time that this has been completely unprovoked by me. I didn't respond to any of Mizu's attack. I didn't respond to his live stream on me and Strob. I didn't defend myself, yet they keep on pushing and pushing and pushing by trying to turn some of my viewers and my community members into spies for their community. Not that they would find anything because my community is normal and we have moved on from this topic days ago.
Yeah. Rima just put out this video like this week and she doesn't really talk about this. Like this is the only video on this situation that there is. That's why not a whole lot of people were talking about this situation because nobody knew what was going on, really. People knew that they weren't friends with each other and they were like clapping back and forth here or there, but nobody knew like the exact details unless you were like deep in either of their communities. So even then you weren't getting the full details, but let's be real honest here. Like this wasn't a big topic. Nobody was actually talking about it. It was only until Rima said this that everybody learned that this whole thing was going on. Like, they didn't know how deep it actually was.
This is how unhinged these individuals from that Discord server are. Is there someone who can get you screenshots of it? Not really, although I have seen screenshots, not by someone I personally know per se. If you can help out Mizu, me and the rest, it'd be really appreciated.
That is fucking retarded.
And then they go back and forth saying we're bullying Mizu and we're only being critical of Rima, etc. They're trying to get some of my mods, some people from my mod team to spy for them. And
can I say, okay, again, I need to finish this. We're almost there. We're almost there. All I'm going to say is earlier I criticized Rima for not showing, you know, a chat from Mizu but reading what he said, but we didn't see it. It was something like this. This would have been more appropriate. Like here, I'm fine with this. I would have still said, hey, let me see the chat. Don't give me the name. Okay. Because I know why she's doing this now. This is to try to protect like her mod and people like that to just keep her side in the clear. When it came to Mizu, I would have just not blocked anything out.
Look at the way they speak. On a second thought, I guess you shouldn't join yet. While my server is relatively safe, it's best for us to stick to DMs after all. My mistake, you were right to be hesitant once again. Anyway, I won't keep bothering you. You already know what the next step is. Establish contact with Trashy Nuva. Maybe Guild Thunder / Zan too as a secondary objective, but probably just focus on Trash first. Remember not to draw too much attention to yourself or give Rima and the mods any reason to grow suspicious of you.
Listen, as I've already stated in this stream, I have my own enemies and the people I don't like and blah, 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 blah. I don't ever want to fucking do this. This is too much fucking work to try to take somebody down. This is like next level schizo unhinged behavior, stalker shit. If something's going down in somebody else's server, even if it's about me, yeah, I might get curious here or there. Like there's some stuff that I got curious about and I would like to know who said something. I've only heard like small little things, but people kept it quiet. I will say, like, I'm not gonna send spies in there. I'm not gonna do that shit because that sounds unhinged and retarded and too much fucking work. Why are you sending spies into somebody else's Discord? That's like weird behavior there. Hey, Weasel, listen, and this is a hypothetical. I have issues with Static. I'm gonna send you in there as a spy. To spy on Static. To see that Static is talking bad about me so you could send me every single time he says something naughty about me. That's fucking unhinged. If Static and I were beefing like that, I'd just go, leave me the fuck alone. Okay? Leave me the hell a fuck alone. That's what I would have done. But no, the psychopaths have to do this.
They are currently highly paranoid. Bro is behaving like he's conducting a military operation. She didn't specify over at T-Court, so I'll just ask her in private then. Been talking to Kendra, she has provided me with a lot of information, but she said she later wants to share it publicly. I will not share any of said info with anyone until she...
Well, I mean, Weasel, he can think that, but we all know that Static really likes it up there.
Does. Out of principle, it is fascinating, is all I will say. What's interesting is this conversation reveals that they've been scrubbing a lot of messages about me in the server. Also, Oko, one of the UTT hosts and admins, has been going around in the UTT Cinder thread, which is currently locked by the way, and deleted a lot of posts, generally ones critical of Rima, proving once more that this thread did go overboard on me. And then we have that nonsense again that they've been peddling about Mythic. It sure is. All this is bigger than just Rima, Cloppercord, or T-Cord. This is about Mythic. Mythic talent is the true adversary here. It goes all the way to the top. Rima is in Mythic talent, so is False. So are many of the mean girls who ruined Cinder.
So is Kirsha. Kirsha doesn't like what Cinder did and thinks Cinder was a bad person. Where's the call-outs on Kirsha? Where is it? Part of me thinks they try to get into Mythic. Okay, part of me really thinks Oko and Mizu tried to get into Mythic and Mythic laughed at them because they were so small. That's really... I feel like they have this weird hate boner for Mythic. Like, they tried to get in and they said no. Like, I'm really curious why they think Mythic is the problem here. I would like to know this because it doesn't make sense. Everything here feels so retarded. Silverveil's a part of Mythic, and even though I think Silverveil went overboard on some of her thought process of Cinder, I can get some of the reasons why she felt the way she did, but I think she felt really weird about it, and I don't know, but girl brain. All I'm gonna say is, like, okay, Silverveil's a part of it, but Silverveil was a target. There's a lot of people here that were targets that happen to be a part of Mythic. So fucking what? Mythic is a large talent agency that sponsors so many fucking people. DM you my Steam account info? Why do I need to DM you my Steam account? Give me a moment, because Gal's being Gal. Here, I'll just send you my Steam code, Gal. I'll send you my Steam code. Here's my friend code, Gal. Here, give me a moment. Hayden and I are continuing our serious beef. I just don't believe. Don't believe you. There. I'm shit posting on Hayden. Oh, you're sending it to Bug? Okay.
It's all connected, and it's a pattern. Mythic talent...
No, Gal. You know what? Because you said, because I fucking said so, I shouldn't have sent it to you. I shouldn't have sent it to you. Fuck you. I did it because I was being nice. I should never have sent it. Bitch.
is an agency, not a corpo, but there is something real shady about them. Cinder was once in Mythic, but she left. I don't know yet why, but as they say, you don't leave the family. I call it the Mythic Mafia at this point. Sure has been behaving that way. They're definitely directing their members to coordinate shit.
So Kirsha is a part of the mafia.
Exactly. Also, Silvervale has worked with gamer subs. Double whammy. It all happened for a reason. Multiple reasons, that is. Ain't just about girls being petty and catty. Way.
And also, Cinder worked with gamer subs. Silvervale worked with gamer subs. All VTubers have worked with gamer subs. Oh, wait, did my thing crash? Give me a sec. No. Okay, my chat here crashed. Why did my chat crash? Why? What the fuck? Restream is being restreamed right now. Give me a second. It's acting stupid. It literally disconnected from my chat. I don't know why. Like, I'm trying to see what the fuck's going on. I'm still streaming, but the chat disconnected. It even says that I'm on. So why is this happening? That's weird. That is weird. Like everything says I'm on. Did something not happen right? Like, I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, it's that. Go add me as a friend, punk. No, fuck you. You're being mean. You're being mean. You're being a big old meanie pants. Okay? You're being a big old meanie pants. There.
Deeper than that. Yeah, as we've been saying, this goes deep and it goes to the top. Yes, both Mythic as well as gamer sub. It's just business.
Why? Like a serious question in all of this. Why? Why does Mythic want to take down Cinder? Why does GamerSups want to take down Cinder? Can somebody answer me that question? Are they talking to themselves? No, they're talking to one of Rima's mods, but like, why? Like, give me a reason. Just give me a reason. Because Cinder's boobs are too big. Okay, at least it's a reason, Ariel. Like, there's no reason. They're just saying they want to. Why, though? They don't care. Maybe. It's just Cinder was a cunt.
You see how obsessed these people are? Again, this is completely unprovoked and I still haven't responded to anything that Mizu has said about me until that point. This is more than a week after my Cinder video has been released. This is what—
Listen, guys. Now, if Fansly came out against Cinder and cut off Cinder, maybe we could have a discussion there. Maybe we could have a discussion that a bunch of corpos were actually cutting off Cinder. And, like, say her Twitch got taken down. We could have somewhat of a discussion there because something wasn't adding up. But she also didn't get kicked from GamerSups. And as far as I know, yeah, her model, like her statue got canceled because the people were upset with her. But as far as I know, she didn't get cut from GamerSups. She didn't get cut from a bunch of fucking things, even though I could argue she should have been cut from GamerSups. Mainly because she was a partial owner and she was going after people that were also partial owners, like Silvervale, like Shy Lily, and trying to cut them down and take their revenue and take them out of the spot. And I could argue that was tortious interference. But okay. If there was other channels and other corporations trying to take down Silvervale, I would say, okay, what's going on here? But there wasn't that. Mythic wasn't trying to take them down. People just didn't like what she was doing and saw what she was doing and was like, hey, she's an awful person. There's no evidence to support what it is you guys are trying to say that she's doing. It doesn't exist.
But like at least 12 days since it's been posted, I've been dealing with my own shit. I've been ill. I've been grieving with the death of a family member, and still they're not stopping. This is what these people choose to pass their time. Unbelievable. I've never wanted it to come to this, but I understand now that these people will not stop, even if I do nothing. And I have just no choice but to speak up. There's just no low that is too low for them. This is the kind of people that is fostered and protected by this community. So forgive me if I have now a huge distrust of anybody that orbits around this community from now on. It's just a huge red flag for me.
I don't blame her. Look, I have no problem thinking that. I mean, look, they've been doing this to her. So if you're orbiting around them, yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame her for taking that position. Probably a logical position.
I have no desire to engage with Mizu and his community further after this. Hopefully this is the first and last time I'll have to address any of this. And if you're a member of my community, please stay vigilant and most of all, stay safe. Now that I've addressed Mizu's biggest lie, let's speedrun through some of his other lies.
And all attacking Rima with the most heinous stuff she's ever seen. She says the thread got so heated with insults and vitriol that it got locked by the admins. So we have locked the Cinder thread. We locked the Cinder thread before this fallout.
False. The date thread is locked is on June 2nd. The date of the fallout, May 20th. Tell me, Mizu, which date comes first?
Wait, I know this. I know this. I know this. Gal, be proud of me. I know calendars. May's 1st. Right? Am I smarter than a 5th grader?
June 2nd come before May 20th?
No!
Thinking.
She says it was so much focused on me that Akko suggested they made a new thread on me. No. Like a random person in chat said, well,
No, she already showed the receipt. Yeah, they're gonna make a Rima thread.
can we make a Rima thread? And I said no.
Yay, Ariel,
Mizu
thank
denies
you!
that Oko requested to make a separate Rima thread, but the evidence shows otherwise. So guys, if Rima's gonna be the main focus instead of Cinder, you may want to make a thread, just so we keep things separate. And it's good to note Oko requested this after reading this lovely message about me joining the Shy Lily train and hoping that we have enough jetpacks to survive the crash. Interesting.
Then it took another day for a different mod to finally go, hey, stop posting the Mizu memes, it's getting old. And he followed it up with, if Mizu and Akko try to reply, they will be muted.
Mizu here twists a ceasefire into something negative somehow, only mentioning the part where he says he would mute Oko and Mizu if they replied, and he conveniently leaves out the part where my mod said that if anyone else from Rima's chat decides to post more Mizu memes, I'm going to time them out.
Which is fair. There's also people that have openly said in their discords after being maybe associate. Again, if I use Static and I for example here, I would not blame Static if Static had his own little discord with people popping off. If Static's done with me and just fed up with me, decided to put down a whole rule in his chat and his discord, if you bring up Dermy, I'm banning you. I have no problem with that. That's what a lot of discords do. So if there's a ceasefire, yes, saying, hey, there's a ceasefire. If we see anybody in our community acting this way, trying to stir up drama or anything, we're going to ban you or time you out. There's no problem there. Wow. It's like fucking everything must be negative with these people. This is common sense fucking behavior. Nobody has a problem with the way people act like this when they act like this. If you don't want to be a part of the drama, you just say, hey, I'm either going to time you out, I'm going to warn you, time you out, or ban you. That's how that works. But not to ban you if you mention Static working at the poll and salad tossing. That's right. Static gets to, you get to say that about Static. We all know Static works the polls and likes to toss salad. I mean, he said it tonight. He was behind, after we said eat my ass, he openly said, listen, I was behind him, tossing my salad.
was a fair ceasefire on both sides. Which, by the way, Oko still tried to talk, and my mod had to gently request him 3 times to stop. He didn't even get timed out or muted immediately. First time, second time, third time.
When he says these people, I assume he means me, Akko, and Lumi. Akko and Lumi haven't said anything to them.
Akko has, Lumi hasn't.
This is strictly a me issue. Akko and Lumi haven't said a word. I've specifically
I saw this, but this is my first and only statement to these people. They have been hounding me on social media for years, hoping to make me support them on various drama. They have desperately reached out to me many times on social media and then tried to rope my wife into their drama, ignoring their obnoxious clout chasing. But here they are targeting my wife for saying no to them when they attempted to slander another creator. No, they have tried to get Rev in a bunch of their shit, and Rev doesn't like it. Now, he might be saying they, but he's mainly mentioning Mizu and Oko and talking about Under the Tea. So yes, you would end up having to wrap in Lumi, who is a part of Under the Tea. That's what he's talking about here. Again, babies can figure this out, but hey, you're dumber than a fucking baby.
Told Akko and Lumi to stay out of it, because this is my drama, and I will handle it how I
Oko stepped in.
How I see fit, and I don't want anyone else in the crossfire of it.
Oko was there.
This is the full extent of our hounding of him.
Mizu lies and pretends that members of UTT never cared about Rev. First, he shows his own DM to Rev that remained unanswered, and at the same time in his chat there's Moma Oko saying, I will be honest, I did message Rev to ask for a collab once or twice, then to share drama because I asked if you wanted it, then said yes. And I also messaged Strob twice, once to answer a tweet, then because someone told me she manages his collab. And we also...
It's almost like he kind of gave you guys the hint he doesn't want to engage. Yeah, that is kind of what it is, Weasel. They're bitter. They're bitter fucking twats. And then we got Rev showing a bunch of shit. These people are weird.
To have the third member of UTT who messaged Rev
Oh, so Lumi did get involved. So they have been hounding him
multiple times here.
So this is how I find out that Strob is messaging Akko.
It was in fact Akko who pinged Strob asking
yes,
to
Alpha,
DM
high school
her.
bullshit.
So Mizu lied again.
And in our DMs, where I told her about this, she immediately goes, I look at it, but it's somewhere in here. So just believe me, it's verbatim on this, and I'm trying to phrase it from memory in the most charitable way possible. But she says, I scrolled through our DMs, and I never saw me say anything like that. And even though I know for a fact that a couple hours before she had talked to somebody else who had reshared the video with her, she lied to my face that she did not know what happened.
So this part is a little complicated to follow. Here, Mizu is talking about a conversation that we had.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention real quick. That was my bad, because Bug said accept the Steam friend request, you hoe. I don't get Steam notifications, you bastard! Fuck off!
About Ilara, because it's always about Ilara with him. Mizu uses this moment to claim that I was lying. I wasn't lying. I indeed never said that in our DMs. First of all, I was asking him where in our convo I said that exactly, and
I scrolled up in our convo and didn't see where I said that exactly. Beside, that's between Ilara and you. I don't even know who Ilara is. Ho, fuck you, Bug. I'll step on you.
Reason why I pressed on this matter is because I knew I said something similar to Oko a few days before, not a few hours before like Mizu claims.
Lie number 7. Rima said this to Oko days ago, not hours. Okay.
Which is, by the way, another lie. I asked that specifically because by that point, I had strong suspicion Oko was repeating all of our conversations to Mizu. I had confronted him before, which he denied the allegations, and I had confronted him a few days prior to which he had admitted and promised he wouldn't keep playing telephone between us. That's why I wanted to know where I had said that in our conversation. But thank you, Mizu. Your stream confirmed that Oko was indeed the rat, which is why he is now banned from our Discord server.
Almost like you guys run gay ops and you're bad at it. Maybe when you guys run gay ops, don't admit shit like this. Don't run gay ops. Here's the other thing. Don't run gay ops. Running gay ops is what leads to this shit. And when you're really bad at running gay ops, you admit to shit you don't want to admit to. But hey, I mean, you guys are clout chasers. What do I expect?
House feels good. Here Mizu lies about their Discord server being more controlled than mine. Yes, our memes versus their obsessive
That's right, run straight
stalkerish
ups.
posting. All the while, his co-admin is directly contradicting him in the live stream, saying the Cinder thread was locked because people were getting too schizo, like they said. Someone...
They're really bad at running gay ops. They're really bad. Like, seriously, Dick Masterson is bad at running gay ops. Nick Ricada is bad at running gay ops. There are some people that are bad at running gay ops. These people are bad at running gay ops. Like, this is straight up some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. How, if this is your co-collaborator, quit having your co-collaborator come out here and admit to doing shit opposite of what you're saying. You guys need to be on the exact same thing. Like seriously, is it that hard? At least Dick Masterson doesn't let his people go out there and contradict him. Like, he tries to nip that in the bud as much as fucking possible. All I've seen is the contradictions left and right from your collaborator. Jesus Christ.
Even pointed out on Twitter saying, I mean, those just look like memes regardless of intention. And Mizu responds, that's such a sad excuse for this kind of behavior. Oh, but the harassment in your Discord is fine. Your Discord members soliciting members of my Discord server to spy on me is fine. If your server is more controlled, it's not because you've...
Hatsune Mizu? Well, I mean, Hatsune Miku is. Hatsune Miku is a Vocaloid character, so that might be why you're thinking of that.
Handled things better is because your users went so far over the line that they had to be reined in several times. Also, as you've mentioned in your stream, you had to dig those memes up from not one, not two, but from days ago when you went full crazy on Twitter because of my Cinder video. The meme is based on something you actually said. Mizu claims that people made that specific meme to ruin his reputation.
I mean, Ballbusters has made some memes out of things we have openly said. You get annoyed with it. We're trying to move away from some of it, but sometimes it's hard not to... God damn it, I said hard again. Fuck! Sometimes it's difficult not to acknowledge the meme.
Fan fiction, no one ever said that.
And Rima said, okay, I'll talk to Alara, and I'll see, like, if maybe we can build a bridge.
Who's
so to speak.
Alara?
And I was like, okay, that's fine, Rima, it's whatever. So Rima comes back a little later and says, yeah, hey, Alara doesn't want to talk to you.
That's also completely false. Alara never said that.
Other than sharing the DMs to Strob, she has not necessarily, to my knowledge, lied
No,
about
Ariel,
what we talked about. And until she starts lying about what we talked about in DMs, I don't necessarily feel a need to share those. Because that's kind of my rule with DMs.
No, you shared a lot of DMs here. Okay, you shared all sorts of DMs. Why don't you share these DMs? Is it because it goes contradictory to what it is you're trying to do?
Is the only time you share them is when you have to defend yourself, to prove that someone is lying about them.
Good. Then Mizu will understand that I'll have to share DMs to show that he's lying about me right now. I'll only show what's necessary though. First, Mizu DM'd me saying Alara had blocked him on his Twitter, so he's pretty sure this
I don't know who
will never
Alara is.
happen. We go back and forth on the topic of
Alara looks like a dark-haired elf. Probably. I legitimately don't know who Alara is. Here, I'll quickly look it up. I'll look it up. Sorry. God damn it. Cowlsby. Alara. VTuber. Followed by Hayden. Yeah, I don't know who this person is, but you know, I could probably get used to it. I could probably dig this person. I could see some big reasons as to why to follow them. Just two like really big reasons to follow them. 2 really, really big reasons. You know what? Here, I'll follow them. I'm not gonna put them on notifications yet, but yeah, I could see some
Lara
reasons.
and don't end up agreeing, so I just end up switching the conversation. After that, Oko messaged me wondering if I ever spoke to Ilara about those peace talks. I explained that when I spoke about it with Mizu, he seemed reluctant, so I didn't. Then we decided to bring it up in the group chat of the Under the Tea podcast. But even then, the team seemed reluctant at the idea and even seemed upset at Oko for bringing up the idea. I'm not upset at them for this, but naturally, what do you want me to do? Of course I dropped it. I didn't think that they wanted to do this. Shouldn't you discuss?
I don't know what happened with Alara, so I'm really just kind of quiet right now. I don't like just playing it all the way through, but I don't know, and I don't really want to skip forward because I feel I don't want to skip something that might be important. But like I don't know anything about the Alara stuff, so I'm gonna skip forward a little bit.
Talk to them, and I certainly never told them that too.
And then all of a sudden the other day, Strob pops into our Discord, which is public, like there's no problem with that. This is the first post she makes. She goes, "These are some really nice rules you got here." And I just say, "Hoi, Strob," because, you know,
Hoi.
she popped in, thought I'd be polite, say hi. I didn't
But
really
you logged
understand what this was about.
You
I
didn't
thought
care.
maybe it was like a legitimate compliment, but it felt really weird. And then I was sure.
No. It only started feeling weird until it only started feeling weird to you after Oko and her talked, and Oko told you that she doesn't like you. That's when it started feeling weird.
That it was supposed to be like some kind of backhanded compliment, when later she just posts this of her talking to a wall. And I was like, okay.
Mizu here intentionally crops out what Strob is replying to so he can lie and pretend that Strob is being aggressive for no reason. When she was in fact replying to this person, saying, "Wait, hold, are you the Strob, Rev's wife?" He also did the same thing on Twitter with his tweet where he purposefully omits this context. Ironically, his own tweet mentions giving the full context to his audience. How can you be so dishonest?
And I reply in chat, I'm like, "Rima, I really don't feel like you did any research on this." And some
I don't even know who Nimi is. I'm not a huge fan of the Vocaloid music anyways. I don't like they do that auto-tuned synthetic wave stuff, and I don't like that. It hurts my ears.
Somebody in chat replies to me that says, "I don't think you watched any of Shy Lily's video." So I just replied, "I covered the entire video on stream. Of course I've seen it."
Well, then you were retarded about
timed
it.
out. And the reason I was given was
Nimi is Fauna? Yeah, I haven't watched that. I've only seen a handful of Fauna clips. Fauna left before I got into Hololive, so
self-promotion for saying that I had watched it on stream.
Mizu here downplays the real reason why he was timed out. Only talks about a single message he sent in my live stream chat when he sent several that were highly disrespectful.
We've already gone
to know
over this.
that you better watch out because he's got friends in high places.
I will say just one more thing, because I made an ominous tweet referring to this the other day where I said,
listen, real quick, because I skipped over the funny part. This whole time, remember, Mizu has said that he has no way to combat large creators talking bad about him or anything like that. Okay, he said that multiple times. Now he's saying that he has large creators in his back pocket. What is it?
The people in high places, they talk about the puddle. And they think the puddle doesn't see it. But surprisingly, despite the size of my fan base, I actually do have a lot of people in high places that like me. So I occasionally get DMs that is something along the lines of, "I'm in the private chat room of this group of people and they're talking about you." And the other day I learned of like 6 or 7 major VTubers private chats with like a select group of people in it, that all of them were...
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Say the names, bitch. Come on. You want to hide behind this? Like if the threat of the big creators, and I have friends in high places. Say their names. Come on. Come on. Come here, puppy. Come here. Say the names. Say the names. I know you can do it. Quit being a little bitch. Say the names. It's because you're trying to scare everybody. Fuck off.
Chatting shit about me. There is a lot of, I don't know how, but despite the fact I'm like a 2K
One of them is
channel,
Cinder, probably.
I have people that unironically have like 1 million subs that think about me almost every day.
Well, I mean, you are a little boy.
I don't know how they know me. I don't know how it gets around.
I wonder how they know you and how they talk about you. I mean, Tectone has multiple millions of subs and followers. I wonder why Tectone would ever be talking about you in private DMs. It's not like you're a little bitch. Like, you're saying they talk about you. You're not saying how they talk about you. They could be talking about you in a very negative light.
I can tell you that obviously I know the people who specifically tell me, but I also know some of the people who support me. Because even though tweets, or even though likes now on Twitter are private, they're not private from me.
Screenshot and post it, buddy. Come on. Do it. Do it.
And I can see who likes my stuff.
Okay.
So I know, like,
Gator?
what
So
larger
what?
creators are on my side and which ones aren't. And I say that because I know some of those people in those large chats are going to lose their shit. I know they freak out every time they realize that somebody's talking to me. And they try and do little purges. But the fact of the matter is, most people that are that high up that are watching me privately are typically smart enough to not get themselves caught.
Good for you.
These people are so unserious.
That's it for the Rima video. Okay. Now Rima laid out a very strong video there. Timestamps, info, all sorts of stuff. Laid it out, gave you the information. That was the main thing there, was to give you the information. Yes, by the end of it, you are biased against Mizu and Oko. And also, they look retarded. Let's be fair about all that. Okay? But Rima did a fantastic fucking job.